Full screen.
Well, I say every day it's a getting closer to taking a bath with my fucking toaster.
We're not qualified.
Explorers in the further regions of experience.
Did you not listen?
Then the hell with you.
Greetings, salutations, and welcome to the 169th episode of Screaming into the Void, the show where we talk about whatever the hell we feel like. My name is Samuel the Infamous, and joining me today, we have Caucasian Sasquatch.
What up, bud?
What's up? We also have joining us for the short time that we have him before the Marine Corps makes him their bitch, Shadow of Hawk.
I prefer the term government property.
Yeah, what you prefer doesn't matter. You're their property.
Yep.
Yes, theirs, not yours.
And then all the way over from Londonistan, or, you know, fucking somewhere else. I don't know. It's a small island. Abe.
Yeah. Yo, what's going on?
So obviously I got my my ringleader hat on today. You can see I also have a Santa hat on today. I'll probably be wearing this through the rest of the month on stream, just because I don't know. It seemed like a good idea at the time.
Yeah.
Welcome in, everybody. We are live currently on Twix, YouTube, and Rumble. Two separate YouTube channels, mind you, Caucasian Sasquatch and Samuel the Infamous. If you're in any of those places, drop a comment. Let us know you're here. We'll do our best to acknowledge it, etc. at all, yada, yada, yada. Before we get too much further, we're going to go ahead and say hello to the chat.
Grift.
We've got first up. Oh, yeah, the grift. We'll get to that in a second. We've got Fletch. Welcome in, buddy. Welcome in. Also, Arden Party. Howdy. Welcome. What in the name of God's great galloping galactic galvanized golden gonads is going on here? That's a lot of alliteration for, you know, I've only been awake for like 2 hours.
He's good at this. I've seen this before. It comes to shakes.
Yeah. We have Aaron Laura. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Welcome in. We've got Old Blindy. Good to see you, buddy. Ale wine, all wine, something like that. I don't know. It's turning the little A into an O because my
Ashton, how you doing, bud?
Yes, welcome. All that stuff. I'm just gonna be all over the place today. It seems a lot of Arden Party. Damn, dude. Like, not TLDR. I'm not reading all that.
I will. That shit's hilarious. I have an amazing amount of affection for alliterative allegories and analogies. Thank you, sir.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Howdy, everyone. From Jacob Gallo. Good to see you, man. Good to see you.
Coop.
So, yeah. So it's that time of year where everybody plays inane music for like fucking a month straight and makes me crazy. You know? How y'all doing?
I'm chilling like a villain, you know, cheating, robbing, rhyming, stealing.
Mm-hmm.
Stilling or stealing? Is it your accent, or are you like running a still?
A little bit of both. I stole the steal to steal things. I get drunk, but I steal stuff. I use the things I steal to make things in my still that make me drunk, so I steal things.
Sweet.
Fair enough.
Is there some kind of like alliteration?
I have a catalytic converter if you want it.
Say that again, Shadow.
Is there some kind of alliteration party going on? Because Ardent is alliterating and Squatch is alliterating. Are we supposed to do that?
Ardent.
Oh no, I'm not awake for this. I'm not nearly awake enough for this.
Coffee.
Would you like some stiff upper lip pre-dippable workout?
No.
Or dippable workout?
So I've been having this issue for the last like week where I've been grinding my teeth in my sleep. and it's causing some serious problems with like pressure and pain and all of that. So I have to eat a lot of fucking pain medication even to be here talking to you guys right now.
Yeah.
So
is the pie good at least?
Yeah, I mean, the fact is I'm sleeping, so there's that. But on the other hand, I'm also like damaging my mouth while I'm asleep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get you a mouthpiece, bro. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
Trust me. Back before I got my teeth fixed, I spent most of my time with splitting migraines that were inexplicable and nothing anyone could do about it. And then I got my teeth all pulled out and all the stuff realigned and everything. And within a week, man, it was astonishing. My jaw muscles, the sides of my head, my migraine, all of that shit just kind of leaked out of me. It was weird.
Yeah. I might
TMJ do it, bro.
Like it's always interesting though, because the last time I had a mouthpiece, I had to get like one of those and this wasn't a mouthpiece for sleeping, it was a mouthpiece for fighting, right? And they've got these ones now. Well, they've had them for a while, obviously. This is a while back, but where they have kind of this like foam gel inside them so that it conforms to your actual teeth as opposed to just being like generic, mouthpiece and all that. And it was great. So I don't have that thing anymore. And I don't know what the fuck happened to it. Probably got knocked.
You can get them over the counter. Just go hit a CVS or something along those lines.
Because I got pretty messed up teeth, right? Some of them are broken and they're all crooked. So
well, now listen to me. And I one day I'll share a picture of me before I got my shit fixed, and we can discuss who had more meth mouth.
Holy shit!
I was more of a pre-meth mouth, but in any event,
yeah.
With the ones you get over the counter are like a heavy, almost wax. It's a little heavier than wax. It's like a soft enamel sort of, and you drop it in hot water. You leave it there for like 15 seconds, then you bite into it. Wait 15 seconds, pull it out, let it cool. And when you go to bed, you stick that thing in and it locks everything into place. You can grit on that. You can chew on that shit like bubble gum. It won't give a damn.
Right.
There is one tiny issue. Hey, Darlene, welcome in. You got to make sure to get the right size for your mouth, because if it's too small, you'll end up getting it locked. Like it'll pop out and go sideways.
Yeah.
I've had that happen once and completely just dislocated my jaw on both sides.
Yeah, that was always like the challenge. Like even back when like before they put those like those foam conforming ones out, you just had to get whatever it was that they gave you, and it was not a one size fits all kind of thing. And I've got a weird mouth anyway, because it's like a medium sized mouth, but the way my teeth are angled, they're all angled inward. Right, so it makes them appear they take up less space, like in the interim, than they should. And so, like finding something that fits was problematic for a long fucking time. And plus, one of my canines sticks way the fuck out. So,
am I unironically gonna sit here laughing in Britishness?
Yes.
In the sense that I've never needed any of that shit.
Oh no,
my teeth are fine. Yeah. Always have been.
But fucked up teeth are the natural state of the British population. It's an issue for us.
Was it? I know it was Charybdis.
No, it's kind of the other way around, you cunt.
Gotcha, bitch.
Right. So Sam, what you're telling us is that your mouth looks like Charybdis from Greek mythology.
It does in fact look like there's an eldritch horror on my face. Yeah.
Nice.
Not on your face; it's in your mouth.
Well, my mouth is on my face.
Wait, hold on. So you're like a xenomorph, where you've got like the terrifying, ugly visage, and then like inside there's another little visage that just
he's got a little mouth on the inside.
Yeah, if I stuck my fingers in the sides of my mouth and like stretched the lips out a little bit and grimaced, then yeah, maybe.
New Sam Laurence Knight, everybody. Check.
I can
I'll update the wiki.
I could just stick my hands up with like my my pinkies and my index fingers sticking out and look like the fucking Predator too if I wanted to. So
hey, listen, folks, there's nothing wrong with stretching those lips out. I'm going to take
I advise you to do it before when
a Britisher calls you a cunt, that means he likes you.
True.
I mean,
he's been here, I'll be a while.
When an American does it means he doesn't.
When an Aussie does it, he's just talking to you.
A Brit or an Aussie, yeah. It's a term of endearment, but of course, it requires context.
Right, right. In the United States, there are exactly 2 contexts, and one of them is vagina.
Yeah.
Just like if you said, wait,
After a fashion, they're all
I shouldn't
vagina.
make that joke. I should not make that joke.
I mean, if I call you a cunt, you're a cunt. If I call you a cunt, you're a cunt. But if I call you a cunt, that's a little different.
Yes, Fletch, 100%. And yeah, I got the reference. I got the reference. I love fucking Predator 2. It's a great fucking movie. I don't care who
We
says
played
it.
this clip. We play this clip on the Hump Day Chinwag, where it's just like did it. You're a cunt. It's perfect.
So, Shadoo, as to your question in the private chat, I don't give a shit. The AI moderators might.
Okay, so because I got a joke about like the difference between England and America involved in that, but if it's too much of a,
are you talking about putting meatballs in your mouth? Is that what you're talking about?
No, actually, no. You know, I'll just say it.
Well, I can say it because faggots are delicious.
No, the joke is if you ask an American if you like smoking fags, it means something very different if you ask a
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
but if you ask a Britishman if you can bum a fag, it's a totally different meaning over there.
Well, it's a bit of a double entendre, that one, because it both means what you would assume in the United States,
Right,
and it also means to politely ask for a cigarette.
well, see, we don't, when we talk about bums, like generally we're talking about like homeless people who beg for shit.
Yeah.
Like we don't generally refer to, unless we're being very polite in front of small children, we don't say bum when we're referring to butts.
Well,
I mean, even then you say,
it
like,
kind of means
push.
the same as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
because okay, well, on the one hand, it's butt stuff. But to say that you're bumming something off someone means that you're without something, so you're begging
Yes.
for it.
I don't think this is helping with your English accent.
No.
Like this. It's not helping.
No, just bumming all the way down, folks.
Yeah.
God damn
So we have some stuff to talk about today. There's been a bunch of stuff. I've been paying some attention to what's going on, but I honestly, if I'm being perfectly honest, man, after the Amazon Stargate announcement with Martin Garrow and all that here a couple weeks ago, I've really just been like watching a lot of like old Gate World interviews and stuff. So with my free time, I haven't been paying a lot of attention to stuff in the news. And all that, but there have been some things that have come up that caught my attention and all that. We're going to cover some of that today, as well as whatever the hell else comes up. Like this whole thing about colloquialisms across the pond was kind of impromptu, as it happens.
Yeah.
As it usually is. And if you are new to the show, if you are new to the channel, if you are new to any of the stuff that we do here, this is kind of how it goes, right? We'll just start talking and things happen and things get said. And, if you like it, great. If not, also great.
Mm-hmm.
Go look for your dustbin. Go look for your trash. Go look for your dumpster, and that's where our complaints department is. It's fourth dimension.
Oh no. My complaint department is at mandatory carry on YouTube. Feel free to email him.
I was speaking into the screaming into the void complaints department, not the Caucasian
I don't care
Sasquatch.
who says him complaints.
Okay, those taxes are something completely unrelated. Okay, that this gets filed as a nonprofit. Yours is a for-profit venture.
Wait, I'm supposed to be making a
way too much into a bunch of talking heads on the internet, dude.
Wait, no, I want to talk about the profit. Where's my profit?
Speaking of profit, I did say something about that, didn't I? Of course I did, because I would. All right, so as you can see, per the ticker, and also if you're on my channel or on Rumble, the pinned chat, feel free to send us money.
Mm-hmm.
will happily accept. Thank you very much. Enjoy the show.
Right. Yes, that was my complaint. You guys are getting.
That was the whole pitch. Just send us money.
Money us, money now.
Money now, money us. Yes. All right. So, what's the evil shit that's going on in the universe? Like, what's the bad things? I know of a few.
There's a few. Fuck, I had somewhere else I was going with this, but whatever.
I'm sorry.
Let's go ahead and bring this up. Okay, so first things first. This came up the other day. So Ryan Fournier is a guy who is very involved in MAGA. He's I don't want to say necessarily a lobbyist, but he's kind of in that vein, right? This dude's got like 1.2 million followers on fucking Twitter, which is kind of a lot for somebody who's not like actually a politician. And what's weird is this is the strange thing. This dude's been following me since like the first like month I was on Twitter, which is very strange. Yeah. But anyway, he puts out this thing. And he's talking about basically Trump. How do I put this? Poaching most of BRICS. Or something in the works that's along those lines.
Hold on.
Yeah.
So that can be taken two ways. Drug dealers refer to BRICS very differently from people who,
Well, in this case, BRICS being the response, the economic response to like NATO and
like Brazil, Russia,
India, China, and
South Africa.
Is it South Africa? Yeah, it's South Africa. So
yes, it's South Africa. Also, recently they added like Iran and like a few other countries.
Right, but the acronym stands for the first five founding. And anyway, so like four of those five,
India, China, South Africa.
They may as well just call themselves the Anti-Western Alliance.
I mean, yeah, their whole goal was to completely devalue the dollar and replace it with a new currency.
Yeah.
Anybody for the Axis powers, or has that already been taken?
I think that got used.
It's been copyrighted.
Yeah,
I'm going to go with the angled powers.
Yeah. No, the really funny thing about BRICS is it was a completely like it's basically a bunch of jealous girls whining about the hot chick in the class, because if you actually look at it, China is entirely reliant on American markets and American development for their economy. India is entirely reliant on American subsidies for its economy. Russia kind of sort of needs us as a enemy, or as either an enemy to galvanize against or an ally to work with. Brazil's a totalitarian shithole that's killing itself, and South Africa is a totalitarian shithole that's killing itself, but with black people. So BRICS was a joke. It was basically just, we are uniting against American. I don't know why I'm using a Russian accent.
They're black people, right?
Close enough. Yeah.
No, those are Latinos.
Whatever.
Sam. Those are non-white Hispanic Latinos of African descent.
There are also white Hispanic.
There
Latinos.
are also
Asian
white
Hispanic
Hispanics.
Latinos. They're like Brazil is a very diverse country.
There are white people who claim Latino descent so that they can claim to be not white. I've met a few on YouTube.
These people are down there.
I got a really fucking good score on my modern Brazil class, despite being a conservative, getting taught by a clear socialist. So I think I know the topic all right.
Well, this kind of ties into something else that I'd seen yesterday too. Is that apparently we just removed all of the fucking sanctions 5 months later that we'd placed on De Moraes.
De Moraes. What?
He's the Supreme Court judge that has been basically running the place like he's a dictator.
Yeah, right. I got you.
You know, the one who looks like fucking Voldemort?
I've never seen a picture of what he looks like. I just know that he was acting very, very... He was basically doing what they claimed Bolsonaro was doing, which I found absolutely ironic and hysterical.
He's the one who prosecuted all the stuff against Bolsonaro, too. He's the one
that's my point.
Who installed, I forget the name of the guy who's in there now, the current president of Brazil, who is a figure,
Lula.
by the way. De Moraes is the ruler of that country.
I mean, mostly because Lula's retired. He doesn't care anymore. He had his good years. He's basically just back to bask in the glory.
Right. So what's interesting to me here is what's weird this whole thing, and this, to be fair, this is uncorroborated. Jesus, I can't talk today. Sorry, guys. Uncorroborated information. This is just something I've seen in here, but apparently, according to Mr. Fournier, this is a I don't know, like he's grabbing up China, Russia, and India. Like obviously Brazil and South Africa are not included here, and Japan. Japan makes sense. I mean, we've been kind of economic partners with them since we bombed them into submission, right?
Well, it's essentially been a vassal state ever since.
Yeah.
Protectorate. Let's give them a little bit of credit. They're not Puerto Rico. They're a protectorate. They're a good little protectorate.
You know, we dropped a star on them.
The Japanese do. I'm just saying.
We dropped a star on them and made anime.
We dropped 2 on them, and we also burned down half of their country with Agent Orange.
But wait, that wasn't Japan.
No, Agent Orange is something different than napalm. Sorry, no, because all of their major cities were made of wood, and we dropped napalm on all of their major cities. We basically burned down half of Baltimore, New York, Detroit, LA, and Seattle like a dozen times.
Shit was basically a straight up war crime, but we got away with it because we were the allies.
We got
away with it because it's only a war crime after the first time.
Well, I mean, I don't mean to be that guy. Technically, it's not a war crime until Canada does it, so we're good.
No. Quebecois, till the Quebecois did it. A buddy of mine who, granted, he is Quebecois, so this might be a bit of nationalism, but he actually like pointed out, hey, what formations of men were the ones doing all that evil shit? Was it the Anglo-Canadians or was it the French Canadians? And of the examples I looked at, it was the French Canadians. So it's not the Canadians. It's the Quebecois.
Makes sense.
But the thing is like you have Canadians and French Canadians. They're part of the same country. And so just because they're apologizing doesn't mean they're not currently committing a war crime.
So does that mean Tajiks and Pashtos are the same thing? Even though, because they're both Afghans?
Your mama.
I'll take the win, boys. This being my fucking area of study, let me beat Squatch at something. Let's fucking go.
This not being your area of study, this little tangent I'm about to go on. You brought up Pashto, right? So Pashto is also a religion, or is also a language. And do you guys know who Sandy of Cthulhu is? Sandy Peterson?
Yes, I either follow him or I see all his shit on my Twitter feed.
Okay, so this guy is responsible for pretty much bringing Lovecraft into the modern era, right? With games like Call of Cthulhu and Cthulhu Wars and that sort of thing. He was also involved in Age of Empires. He was involved in Doom. Like he's a game maker.
Oh, really?
Anyway, he was talking the other day about watching a Muslim horror movie, and apparently those are things that exist. I don't know. And the language that the characters
it's called living in a Muslim country.
No. Like a genuine horror movie, just made in the Middle East. And he was saying they were speaking Pashto, and he said that the subtitle said one of the characters said "Mother of God," and he goes, "I don't think this is translated correctly."
Yeah.
Right.
Fucking hell.
That was.
And the translator was never seen again.
It was really funny. Yeah. Anyway. But this is kind of an interesting response because I think this is sort of if this happens, right? This means that half of BRICS is going to be in a conflict of interest. Right? Because the sole purpose of BRICS was to destroy the hegemony of the American dollar.
The petrodollar.
Hold on. What if they could subvert the hegemony of the American dollar to their interest rather than destroying it? Wouldn't that be just as effective?
I mean, it
Possibly.
could. It could, but I think this is actually like the purpose of something like this would be to prevent them from doing what they're doing because they don't want the dollar to be the dominant currency of business worldwide anymore. They want to replace it with something else. It's a very globalist thing, but it's like we're going to do our globalist thing while these guys do their globalist thing and whoever comes out top kind of thing.
They're approaching it from the authoritarian globalism of we want to be the ones on the top, whereas the West was approaching it from the more democratic globalism is the wrong term for liberal. There we go. Liberal globalism, where the goal is freedom and equality, even though those are two completely asinine concepts when put next to each other.
Right. So I don't know. I think this is kind of an interesting turn if there is any truth to this. And again, as I said, uncorroborated. This is just something that came up in my feed, and I thought was kind of an interesting little turn of events. Although as an American only guy, I'm not American first. I've been saying America first for a long time. I think that is incorrect. I am America only, and this chafes. I don't like this. I don't like fucking being further involved with fucking foreign powers than we have to be.
Mm-hmm.
I am still America first because I like the idea of being a hegemon, and I don't like this because this ties us to China and India, two countries that have been taking advantage of America, and I don't want them to. And I'm not too upset about the Russia angle, as long as we're able to get them to play ball and stop being ridden by China.
I am America only. I believe in Manifest Destiny 2, where every single nation with an American base in it suddenly becomes a vassal state. And in one generation, your children too can vote in an election.
Dave can't say he's America first, though, because he'll go to jail.
He can't even say Britain first. He can't even fucking say England first.
I mean,
England prevails.
I'm rather Machiavellian on the subject. I think you can achieve these aims entirely through diplomacy.
I think that diplomacy has its place, but the fact of the matter is that the halls of power revolve on violence.
Hold on. I actually do agree with Abe on this. Diplomacy is ultimately the best route, and all warfare is diplomacy by other means.
Yes.
Which is violence.
Yep. Those other means that we're discussing here, bro.
Listen, all I wanted was for you to just accept this trade negotiation that favors me totally.
Negotiations.
You don't want to? Okay, let me just break your country. Now let's have a conversation.
I mean, that's the model that the British Empire succeeded on for, a few centuries.
I mean, look, so Aaron Laura's saying, I am awesome first, and I don't like that Canada's not chosen to join. I don't know what to tell you. Your country sucks. Like, it's fine that we don't want Canada in the club.
First and foremost, the entire Commonwealth needs a revolution at this point.
Yeah.
All of it.
You got a license to call for revolution?
You got a license for that license, mate.
Right?
Where's your license?
Look, if we had to get right down to it, right? Y'all have seen Ted, right? The Seth MacFarlane movie about the talking teddy bear?
Yeah.
Okay, so in the beginning of Ted, right, they were talking about that magical time of year where it's time to beat up the Jewish kids, right? And so all these neighborhood kids got together and were beating up the Jew kid. And then our main character comes up and he's like, hey, can I play too? And everybody, including the kid getting beaten up, tells him to fuck off. Canada's that kid.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah. That was good.
It's the most magical time
of the year.
So yeah, it's we'll see what happens with this. We'll see if there's any news coming forth down the road about it and all that. I'll check in on it and see if this develops. This could just be hyperbole too. You never know. I mean, some of these guys in Washington, they're just like, oh yeah, this is definitely going to happen, and they sound like fucking Mike Zero talking about Kathleen Kennedy leaving Disney. So there might be nothing to it. Who knows? We'll find out.
Or it could have been something that like Trump said in like a negotiation with a bunch of European leaders being like, listen here, everybody. I don't want to do it, but I've been told by some wonderful people that none of you are really doing your part, except you, Poland. You're great. You're fantastic. You're beautiful. Keep doing what you're doing. But the rest of you are kind of losers. So unless you guys start playing ball, I'm going to work with India. Yes, I know they're smelly, but they play ball. I'm going to work with Japan because they play ball. They're like Poland. They know what's up. They're good. And then China and Russia, I guess, because you guys hate them. So, yay.
Stop it.
This is like the worst Trump impression I've ever heard, kid.
No, here's the thing. He's got the part that I can't get. He's got the part I can't get. I can't do the cadence, the pattern that he does, the way he uses the syllables. He's got that nailed. It's just he is nowhere near the proper register or accent.
Right. He sounds more like fucking weirdly Henry Kissinger.
I mean, it's okay, dude. Like, no one would expect you to bust out a flawless Trump impersonation. It's good given who you are and how you look and what you are.
Yeah,
right.
Some practice and some polish and all that. I'm sure it'll turn out great.
Raging fucking failure.
It's like fucking nails on chalkboard, dude.
It's just bad enough. It's kind of like when the early 90s were doing the first attempt at human faces using polygons.
Shadow looks
uncanny valley feeling.
He looks unamused.
Yes.
This poor bastard, he comes onto the show and we just rip the fuck out of him. He doesn't deserve it at all.
Hey, look.
Done nothing wrong.
I'm desensitized at this point. Like, legitimately, I've dealt with birds. If you've not seen bad, when I was like 18, 19, when I was first meeting these fucking jokers, it was worse. It was so much worse.
We've laid off him quite a bit, actually. And
He earned it.
I justify it by saying that we're just preparing him for the far worse things that are going to be said and done to him when he joins the military.
Like, a couple of weeks. If
you're going to be a Marine, you're going to...
We got to get this shit out of our systems because we ain't going to see it for a while. And when you come back, you're going to be immune to all our shit.
This isn't about us.
I'm just like, oh, okay. They're still doing these jokes. Okay, I'm disappointed. I'm not annoyed.
Well, once you've been in the military, he's going to come back, right? And he's going to rip the piss out of us so hard because he's gone through that hardcore shit.
Right.
And we're just going to be sat here with our dicks in our hands like, what the fuck just happened?
The thing is he will have been gone through by a professional. Have dedicated their entire
a fucking institution.
Like you.
Also, I'll be a little bit late, but I can actually show up next Saturday as well. So
And I have a theory that his ass might end up being a drill instructor wherever the hell he ends up going. Just wait and see. Watch.
I don't think officers can be. I don't know if they're able to.
Yeah, I think aren't drill instructors are like sergeants, which I think is
drill sergeants are sergeants.
Non-commissioned.
Yeah, they're non-commissioned officers. I don't know if they have to specifically be a sergeant, but they're usually non-commissioned officers. From what I know.
Drill sergeants are sergeants. Drill instructors can be anyone with the expertise to do this particular thing, but they all kind of do the knife hand talk down. They all develop it.
Well, I mean, that's going to be pretty much, from what I've been told, everything is going to have to be done with a knife hand. So I'm going to be doing that a lot when I come back.
Yeah.
Well, it said that you don't point at anybody. Yeah, you never point. Ever.
I'm pointing at you.
Never point.
I'm pointing at you.
Well, I mean, in some cultures, it's a very offensive to point, and so the Marines deal in so many other different places that they found one thing that, while offensive, is not a death sentence in any culture except Marines.
I wouldn't exactly call the Marine Corps culture a culture. I'd call it cult behavior.
Well, that is the beginning of culture. What's up, Tootie Bug? Welcome in, girl. Damn. Queen Bird?
Source, a Marine telling me that it's a cult.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not talking about it. Let's look at what cults do. They gather in groups, wear the same clothes, and repeat themselves. So, yeah.
They also give up all worldly possessions and any sense of self-ownership.
They also convince you to hate everyone who is not of the cult because they're inferior. Oh, you didn't join the Marines? Well, I guess you couldn't cut it.
Well, yeah, no, this automatically makes you superior. But there's a difference. There is one difference. There is a large portion, or at least a significant portion of the world population that agrees with the Marines that they are superior.
Yeah,
which is really interesting for a branch of the military that started as an offshoot of the Navy, technically still is part of the Navy, that were mostly recruited in bars for their propensity for violence.
Yeah.
There, for a short period there were recruiters that were going to police stations and looking up the most violent people from the history of the tiny town.
Well, I mean, that's what happened with what was it, John Paul Jones, when he was off fucking running.
That dude was an absolute fucking savage, bro.
Yeah, that guy. And then was he the one who was running the Barbary Wars? I think he was right so. After Jefferson commissioned the Navy to go kill pirates. Yeah, because like the sole purpose of our Navy in the beginning was to murder pirates. That was it. That was like after the Revolutionary War and they retired the Navy and all that stuff. He basically brought the Navy back just because he hated fucking pirates. Hated them. In fact, I think that was one of the platforms he ran on.
I mean, he didn't have to fuck them all. Come on.
See, here's the real.
Sorry, Squatch.
He ran on the premise of don't touch our boats. That is the entire purpose of the Navy. Yeah. Navy is not a merchant marine. The Navy does not do anything beneficial to any country anywhere. It is simply in existence for one purpose and one purpose only. Don't touch our boats. Don't touch our boats.
And some people still fuck around and they have to find out.
I mean,
but Sam talking about the Navy. What's really fascinating about the U.S. Navy was when Congress designed our military, they didn't want a standing army. They wanted an officer corps, obviously, but they didn't want like a standing force of battalions and companies and legions and regiments and divisions and corps, because they saw that as an avenue of oppression by the federal government. It wasn't until like the Civil War and the Indian Wars that you really saw, okay, we kind of need a sort of standing army, and then World War I really reinforced that. But they recognized you can't really do a Navy as a militia. That it requires a specific kind of skill set and hardware and maintenance that you need that just 24/7. So for a period of time, the Navy was really the only standing military force for America. And the Marines at that time were just a part of the Navy until they separated off.
Of the Navy.
Well, yeah, I mean,
what they did in North Africa is why you don't fucking touch Americans.
Right. And actually our all of our stuff essentially came from two branches, right? You had the Navy, and the Marines came from them, and then you had the Army and the Air Force, and everything else came from them. In fact, my grandfather was serving at the time that the Army Air Corps, which was a division of the Army, split off and became the Air Force. He used to, from what I hear, this was before my time, obviously, when my mom was a child. He would come home from dinner and talk about how, he was working on this plane this day. He was working on this plane yesterday. It's the same plane. They just swapped the fucking stickers. Like they literally took one sticker off and put it on, and he was on the same plane both days.
Nice. It's legit.
So, got to think. But, yeah, it's, I don't know. Best of luck to you, kid, though. Seriously.
No, thank you.
I think it'll be great. Yeah. I think when it's all said and done, he'll be an absolute unit and a total machine, a cog of the machine of war, and he'll be even more radicalized than he is now. And then he'll enter the U.S. and become a soldier of force and mercenary.
He's going to start running heroin out of Afghanistan.
Listen, in 10 years, if you three chucklefucks aren't making me a topic of the stream because of some evil shit I did in a third world shithole, I've failed you all. I failed you. If I'm not a topic of your stream at least once because of something fucked I did, I have failed you.
But if we know about the evil shit you did, some third world shithole you were fucking up, we should never find out about it. Plausible deniability is built into the very script of America.
I mean, the man's got ambition. You got to give him that much.
Did you not hear my statement earlier in the stream about wanting to be the non-optional history assignment?
Mark, don't talk.
Yeah. You know what? Hold on a second. So Rocky Shepherd. So I misread what you said here. So I do apologize about that. I originally read it as Marines are awful. Army is not. I see now that it says lawful, but I read it as awful, and I was about to bring that up and say, "Oh, look, fighting words for Shadoo." And GHAL, if she were here.
Yep.
What I will say about the Army is they've got all those really like credit to the Army. They're the ones who get all the shiny toys, all the new shit. They're the ones who get like all the fun. Like they're actually supplied and funded, and yet they still only get about half as much as the Marines done. So,
but what the Marines get have already been battle tested and are not in doubt as to their functionality.
Right.
I will click X to down, sir. I have heard horror stories of having to piece together Humvees and helicopters.
Yes, and you can.
That's overcome, motherfucker.
You can. Look, back in 1944, they used to do these competitions in various military bases. They would put together teams of people to construct a Jeep. You ever seen any of these?
No, I don't think I have.
The Marines almost always won it. I mean, there was like the first couple of years the Army won it, but I don't think the Marines competed in the first. They weren't, in there or whatever. They just didn't. They were still busy doing some other shit in the Pacific Theater or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They were. The Army was like, wee. But no, the Marines almost always built the Jeep fastest. So one of the coolest ones out there that you can find, I think it's on YouTube, or at least it was. They have a group of modern Marines assembling a 1945 Jeep, having had a single induction class by the team that they were assembling against, who was a group of Marines out of 1945, who had once won this very competition. And you know what happened? They won this very competition because these guys had done it a million times. Even though it was 60 years ago, 100 years ago, right? These other guys had seen a Jeep in a museum. They saw all the parts yesterday. But it was a close thing. And I think that's important to understand, is that a group of people who have done this 10,000 times in timed courses versus a group of people who just found out such things existed. And the people who just found out they existed were dedicated enough to literally stay up all night running it over and over and over, so as to even be competitive with the old farts over there who like knocked it out while smoking cigars and drinking Henny.
Nice.
Indeed. And hey, who knows? Maybe chicks dig a dude in uniform. Maybe you can get a wife after the school.
Well, that would be no. That would be. I could get a wife right now. It's my standards that are the problem.
Well, maybe your standards are too fucking high, dude.
Don't be a whore. Don't be annoying.
I stand by what I said.
Okay, there's a lot of women that fit the first criteria. Probably the vast majority. The second one, you are fucked, buddy.
In my age range, I press X to doubt. In my age range, I press X to doubt.
Assuming that he makes it through the whole process of becoming a Marine, right? Mm-hmm. After he comes out of the fog, we're going to kidnap him and putting him in a milk house. And we're just going to mass produce babies until we have an all-girl soccer team to compete in the Olympics in 50 years.
I don't think the government will like you stealing their property. No.
See, this is entirely a private venture.
You're gonna wait for my contract to be up. That's what you're saying.
Shh. Don't tell them.
Right.
Never
play your full hand, kid. Never play your full hand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Keep it secret. Keep it safe.
Is it secret? Is it safe?
Sinkholes?
Yeah, sinkholes.
What's up with
sinkholes?
Turkey apparently has what they're loosely referring to farmland, in my opinion.
Very
they're having a problem with sinkholes, and this has to do with the way they're irrigating and all this. There's some dipshits out there calling it climate change, but honestly, it has a lot more to do with how they're irrigating, where they're pumping water from, and all that shit. But there's something like 600 plus sinkholes that opened up in like the most fertile area for farming in Turkey recently. And
this is good.
Video for it, yeah.
This is actually really good. And this isn't going to make any sense on its surface, but in reality, one of the reasons why these areas are destitute of water is because they have no surface relief. There's nothing to break up the trade winds blowing over. There's nothing to force moisture out of the sky. And when you open up these sinkholes, you're creating microclimates, or unintentionally, it's just a byproduct of it. You create these little microclimates. One of those sinkholes will inevitably collect every drop of rain available to them.
God damn it, Aaron!
It's a good thing.
Yeah, it does kind of look like God teabagged the desert.
Yeah, one that's smaller than the other.
Anyway,
yeah,
and made his image.
Image of his nuts.
He's nuts, motherfuckers.
Yes, you look in the background over here. This isn't new. I mean, they're talking about it like it's something new. But that one over there, right, the one you see in the back right, that has at least 10 years of water deposition that's occurred in there. There are trails that are going down the sides of that thing. I don't know if y'all can see it.
Oh yeah, talking about the one on the right below the logo.
This is how natural lakes form.
So not here. Those are walking trails, right? Those are not water trails. But that particular sinkhole.
No. Like if enough of these sinkholes open up over a given space, like this one that's photographed, that will in time become a natural lake.
It should.
Which will benefit everything around it.
I do know that, and I learned this reading about karst formation sinkholes, which are a little different, but they have the same like effect on the air, and it's like wind blowing over a golf ball, right? When you have that take place, it creates this bubble, and that little bubble rotates and just becomes more humid, and you end up with a microclimate of actual moisture under a very dry layer of desert air. And so the base of each one of these things will be a much more palatable place for life in general. Yeah. I don't know if it'll become a lake. I mean, it looks a little dry to me, but
we're talking about a semi-arid steppe area that's borderline desert. They don't get a lot of moisture.
Right. Yes.
So we're talking in terms of like ages, not this is going to happen in the next 10 years type shit.
Yeah, no, in the next 10 years, probably just going to be a bunch of fucking Turkish farmers dropping into the ether when the ground gives way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is kind of what's happening now. Yeah. Real quick, Tootie Bug's asking, I bought some Crown Blackberry today, and I thought I would try it with my favorite drink. Clearly Canadian, I know the irony. Mountain Blackberry. Y'all think it will mesh well? I don't think Crown meshes with anything well because it's garbage.
I learned a long time ago that just like the Canadians, their whiskeys are also a war crime.
I mean, it's up there. Look, I mean, Crown Royal, Black Velvet. Like I Black Velvet's killed people, man. People I know are dead because of it.
Sweet.
Dude.
Wouldn't it be people you knew?
It's a fucked up thing. When I was growing up, I had two choices for drinking. I could go into one of the local liquor stores and buy a half gallon of Crown Royal with no ID and knowing that I was like 12. Homeboy would sell me that shit. But how many 12-year-olds do you know walking around with 75.50?
Like two. Just two.
Yeah, and I was friends with those two, so I'd go buy a half gallon of Crown Royal instead of sitting around drinking the other option we had, which was moonshine just south of gasoline.
Right? Like Art and Party's saying here, like I 100% agree with you that the bag that Brown Royal Brown Royal it might as well be now with the Indian population up there. Crown Royal is it one of the most useful items that's out there on the market that you just sort of get with the product that it carries, right? Like those are awesome. Sure, I'll give you that. But the drink that it carries inside, not so much.
One of the most heinous nights I ever experienced was involving 2 pints of Seagram 7. Don't do drugs, kids. Okay? Drugs are bad.
He says as he lights a blunt.
Yeah. Hey, Sam, can we flash up the medical ticker?
We could, I guess, if you insist.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, Seagram's is like what happens with Crown Royal when it falls down drunk at night and falls down some stairs.
This is not medical advice, people.
Seagram's is
drinking advice,
but do crack
is sinful.
I mean, I was really funny the first time, and I know I laughed this time, but it's
Dude.
It might be hours next week. I don't want to be here.
Yep. We're going back to the grift. Money us, money now. Anyway, we have a video to play here.
I only say this because my chat's on the ragged edge, bro. You never know. You might.
Nearly 700 sinkholes are tearing open Turkey's farmland, and the country's main breadbasket is literally caving in. Close to 684 large sinkholes have been found across the Konya Plain, the region that grows much of Turkey's wheat, and new ones are showing up every year. Scientists blame a dangerous mix of extreme drought, climate change, and decades of heavy groundwater pumping. In the Karapanar district alone, more than 20 new sinkholes opened in the past year, some stretching 100 feet across and plunging hundreds of feet down. Researchers say the collapses have accelerated since the early 2000s, putting farms, livestock, and entire rural communities at risk.
In a desert.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like when I first saw this, like I ended up quote tweeting the person who posted this video, and I was just like, I think farmland quotes is a little generous.
Yes. No.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me back this up. This is one of the issues I have with people who talk about the quote unquote desert Southwest. There are parts of that area out there that are legitimate desert, but about half of what we call the Great American Desert is like fish gravel. It's not that it doesn't rain and there's no precipitation. It's just that it's nothing but fucking rocks. It's rocks, rock dust. Nothing absorbs water. And the entire landscape has become pretty much designed by rain itself to shed away moisture faster than anything you could possibly imagine.
Yeah, it's like Under Armour for,
Yes. For the surface. Yeah. Like that's why you have flash floods, is because nowhere has ponds and places for the water to settle and sit. And without it settling and sitting for a while, it doesn't actually penetrate into the soil at all. There's no soil for it to penetrate into. You need the water first.
Yeah. And this here, I mean, again, this isn't like straight desert. This is a lot more akin to where I live, which is more of like a high altitude steppe kind of thing, where there's not a lot to prevent wind erosion, but there's also not a lot of arable soil. Right. So when they talk about Turkey's breadbasket, Turkey doesn't produce a lot of fucking food. They never have. No. Right. Mostly they import food because it's kind of a shitty region to try and grow shit.
Well, that Anatolian region.
But it's not much. And so when they talk about like, this like vast farmland, it's not, I take issue with the term farmland there. I really do. So unless they're farming yucca, I don't see that.
Don't mess with me, man. I'll do it. I got no problem growing something. I can grow concrete if you paint it green. So I'm telling you, dude. When I was a kid, I had a habanero pepper plant that I grew into a bonsai, and it was probably one of the most fearsome displays of Japanese severity I've ever done. Because can you imagine this little bonsai tree hanging there with these little devil lanterns all over it, bright orange and yellow, glowing in the fucking dark? They're so hot. For sure. Mm-hmm. I kept that thing for 7 years, bro. Those things only live like 3 or 4 years. I kept that fucker for 7 years.
Holy shit. Nice. The fuck are you feeding it?
I guess Yes.
It was like, feed me, Seymour.
Well, no, I had a Southwest style cactus pot that somebody barfed in, I think, and it killed everything. I don't know what happened to it. It just, everything kind of melted into it suddenly. And so I got rid of it. I bleached it, left it out in the sun for a few months, and then filled it in and grew 4 habaneros, one of which had a weird growth pattern to it. And the others grew peppers and died. This one grew absurdly slowly. Even as a young plant, it didn't really stretch all that much. It grew very compact. And so I just trimmed it up and kept it in there. I planted the cactus collection that was in that pot after this died was grown while the bonsai was still in there. I just overpopulated it with little baby cactus until it died, and then I pulled it out of the center and replaced the centerpiece cactus.
Yeah. But regarding this, like, this may be the best option that Turkey has for farmland, right? But like you were saying about there's only so much you can do with this kind of thing, and it's the way that they use the term in the video. I can't remember what it is, where you siphon water from one place to irrigate another.
Truce.
Something like that. It's similar to fracking, but like with less, coal, or oil or whatever. But yeah, they're moving water underground from one place to water above ground in another place, and what that's doing is it's basically destabilizing the strata beneath the surface, and then you get sinkholes.
Yeah.
Well, there's it kind of, I don't know about the geology in this location, but looking at it, right, it seems to have been a fairly stable location for fucking millennia, several thousand years. Because if you look at this particular frame, you see how level all of the different layers are? Right. Yeah. This place has not been disturbed by a major earthquake or all of these are floods. Like every one of these dark lines is a heavy clay deposit that is blocking the moisture from actually receding deeper. And that's where you have a band of life, is in that clay deposit. That one there. And the deeper you go, the more you get. But that shit is dead level all the way out of sight.
Yep. And you're talking about a region that's been occupied by people for thousands of fucking years too.
You see that dark layer at the top? It hasn't
happened until recently, which means that there's something they're doing changed.
Yes. But you see this dark layer at the top right here? That last little bit? That is since the dawn of humanity. Like that all the way up to here. Right. And this is plowed. This is all plowed under. This is what they would call bedrock. Right. So that's all the arable land they have in this location. The rest of this is fucking aquarium gravel.
Yeah. So I did a quick bit of Googling to kind of just like get a general idea of this. I'd actually need to look into some academic sources because I was getting a bunch of weird numbers and conflating grain production with pasta markets. But apparently the primary source of grain for Turkey is Russia, which I found kind of interesting. So if assuming this does affect their grain supply majorly, then you might see a NATO ally having to look to Russia for more resources, which is interesting.
Didn't Turkey withdraw from NATO like last year?
Did they?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did.
Did Turkey? Because I remember there was a lot of like stuff about them.
Yeah.
Apparently they've been talking about it, but I'm not. Apparently it was like a threat, and it should have. And Trump was like, it should be reconsidered, but I don't think it doesn't look like they've actually left. It was just a talk about could it have happened.
Well, that's a shame. I don't think anybody should reconsider withdrawing from NATO. I think everybody fuck NATO. But
I think Well, I definitely, even if NATO was a good thing, get Turkey the fuck out of NATO. I don't want them there.
Yeah, but I mean, what you're talking about, just like purely feeding people in farmland and like grain production and all of that stuff, like they're going to have to reach out to whoever is willing to help them. Period.
Yeah, Russia
Because
and Ukraine.
otherwise, they're going to end up with a lot of starving Turkish people, and that's not good for anybody in Turkey.
Yeah.
Maybe we're looking at invasive species the wrong way.
How so?
Well, the concept of regenerative agriculture is limited by the number of species available to the given areas in which you can actually attempt this, because it's all under the direct oversight of government overreaching agencies. And because you have to get all of the necessary permits to do all of these really big freaking earth moving projects, you're required to not utilize anything that's not native to the area in which you're trying to regenerate the agriculture, except for a handful of, approved grasses for fodder, alfalfa and whatnot. But here's the thing. There's a reason they brought kudzu to Georgia, and it did exactly what they said it would do. And I think it would do quite well in the Southwest. I don't think it would be nearly with the lack of water there, it would be a signatory of where water is, and it would shade everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it grows 1.5 feet, like a foot a day here in the summer. If you imagine that covering the desert Southwest, I mean, I think there's some salvation that can take place. It stops erosion in its tracks. It's edible. Like, animals love that shit. It's just that it grows so fast here that it's unmanageable. There, I don't think it would be. It would be limited by the amount of water it could retain in the ground.
I mean, that might be a method for, like, combating the expansion of the Sahara or for colonizing Mars. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, well, I mean, kudzu weed has been a, CRISPR delight of mine forever. Get some gangsta bud growing 2 foot a day. Fuck yeah!
It's not a bad idea about Mars, though. I mean, like if we're going to be talking about colonizing, extraplanetary, areas and whatnot, like that, a hardy weed type plant that we know for a fact produces O2. That might not necessarily be a bad thing. A bad idea, a good place to start, I guess.
I thought we already had a plan for that.
An observation about Mars. So it's
Send
not
Arnold Schwarzenegger, done overnight.
It's not as big as Earth. The gravity is low. Long-term colonization will almost certainly occur underground. And since it's going to occur underground, almost certainly, why not go deep? If you dig a hole deep enough into the surface, any air that is or gases or whatever that are on the surface will fall into that hole, creating a pocket of high pressure. Why is that not a viable option?
I actually don't think you need to even dig all that deep, because there are canyons that are fucking,
miles,
very deep. And you go down far enough into one of those and just sort of like dig into the side, right? There you go. There's your entrance.
Sure.
And to answer your question, Squatch, I may have misspoke when I said I meant terraform. That's more of what I was referring to.
Well, that's what I'm saying is, in order to terraform, there's a few problems with terraforming Mars.
The dust is looking poison, I'm aware.
Well, no, not just that. I mean, all of that could be overcome through the modern, love of chemistry. But
yes. Speaking of the Warhoon, that's another problem.
The real issue is the lack of a magnetosphere, and the fact that the surface cannot be occupied by most living things on Earth. It would be scrambled by just the solar rays, even if it had an atmosphere.
Yeah, I mean, I made a throwaway joke about Total Recall, but the reality is that if humans were to live there, they would have to live in domed structures.
Domes are no good. Go ahead.
I was going to say I'm going to have to disagree with you guys there, because we do actually have a historical document of entire civilizations thriving on Mars.
Yeah, but that dude was on absinthe, bro.
Do not disrespect Edward Rice, but Edward
Absinthe, the Green Fairy itself. I'm a full freaking proponent of Barsoom. Do not mess with me, bro.
Yes. You agree that it's colonized. We just need to quibble about how we get there and how we conquer them.
No. I believe that took place millions of years ago in Mars's past, and that he was traveling in time.
The reality of humanity possibly terraforming another planet will necessitate the planet being a machine-run planet for decades, if not hundreds of years beforehand.
No, it'll
before
be
a
centuries.
single human foot is there.
It'll be centuries at minimum, man. Because I mean,
Yeah.
a good measurement, I think, of how well we have perfected terraforming technology is something like what we're looking at here on the screen.
Yeah.
We're not that good at it yet. Yeah, and if you're talking about a planet that is not currently capable of supporting, human life or any other life that we are familiar with beyond like paramecium, then it's going to take a while. It's going to take at least centuries, if not a millennia.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it was Arthur C. Clarke.
Millennium.
I think it was in one of his Rama novels, but it might have been a different one. Can't remember. He proposed in one of the pre-chapter things a list of things you would have to do to make Venus surface dwellable, right? And most of the things he listed are completely accomplishable with modern technology. It's just unbelievably freaking ambitious. We're talking about picking up a double handful of Saturn's ice moons and plummeting them down onto the surface of Venus in order to provide enough water to dilute the acid, and then basically doing the same thing with a couple of asteroids from the asteroid belt out there, some big ones, and I don't mean little ones, I mean fucking big ones, specific ones that he picked out. Pummeled
Asteroid
in.
belt or Kuiper belt?
Pardon?
Asteroid belt or Kuiper belt, like the Oort cloud.
Asteroid belt.
If you're going to Mars, you're not going as far out as the Kuiper belt, man.
Well, no, I'm talking.
He was saying Venus, and I was asking, like, did you mean the asteroid belt or did you mean like the Oort cloud and the
asteroid belt? Specifically, I think it's Aries. I think is the name of the object, or I might not be right. But anyway, there's two specific objects that are in the asteroid belt that are of, in his opinion, the right chemical makeup to neutralize some of the acidic problems on Venus and to mitigate some of the pressure issues, right? By dropping the surface temperature, by throwing dust in the air and dropping the surface temperature, a lot of stuff would chelate out of the atmosphere really quick, a lot quicker than you would expect. But it's still so acidic that it would just freaking eat through whatever you dropped in there.
I was going to say, like, just even getting through the fucking sulfuric acid storm clouds in the first place is going to be an issue.
Well, that's why Aries is a Jovian moon. That's right. But that's why before you do that, you pummel it with a number of ice chunks from the moon, from the belts of Saturn, right? Or the Kuiper belt if you can find one big enough. But you hit it so as to speed up the rotation. It would be a backwards rotation, but you'd want to speed it up at least 10%.
Okay, so now we're talking about Venus here, right?
Yes.
Okay, so again, I have to say it's got to be asteroid belt. Everything else is too far out to justify the expenditure.
No, an entire planet is worth the expenditure. I guarantee you. But there is a secondary thing. In one of the later chapters, he proposed what he called the long-term solution. And this is a situation where we build these blimp cities that basically drop pipes down into Venus's atmosphere, taking off natural resources out of the atmosphere itself. And we literally drain the valuable gases from its surface as money.
I just
real quick.
Sorry, Sam.
Old Blondie's saying we are amazing at terraforming, but bureaucracies make us insanely retarded. Trump and Japan are examples of things getting in days or weeks as possible. Look, I don't disagree that we're amazing at looking like we're good at terraforming, but the single best and most successful terraforming project in the history of mankind is the Salt Lake Valley in Utah. And it's still a fucking desert. It's just a prettier desert. We didn't actually change the area. We just changed the way it looks in a very surface level.
I disagree. There's a project back in the 60s perpetrated by a single individual that grew into like a government impetus. I can't remember the guy's name, but he invented the concept of regenerative agriculture and then went on to like sort of create the dogma of it, like the Bible.
While you're looking for that, Squatch, I think it was, who was it? Oh, Ardent said, did you mean Eris? Not Ares, Eris.
Yeah, that sounds right. I think I've heard that name.
Anyway, there's a big chunk of ice fucking around out there somewhere, and he was Arthur C. Clarke was fairly adamant that you're going to have to hit Venus really fucking hard with something at least once in order to disrupt the tidal lock that it's falling into. It's not completely tidally locked, but it is very nearly going to be.
Yeah, but you got to get it spinning again, and it's got a similar mass to Earth, and it's also closer to the sun and subject to higher degrees of the gravitational pull than we are.
Right.
Like it is outside the Goldilocks zone.
Slightly, just barely. Which is one of the reasons why he wanted specific asteroids from the asteroid belt to create a haze, a solid haze, not the fucking greenhouse hellscape that it is now, but an actual physical block against the sunlight reaching the surface at all.
See, here's the thing: is I don't think a lot of sunlight does reach Venus's surface.
Well, no, it doesn't, but the infrared does.
Sure. And it's got nowhere to go because it gets trapped. It bounces off the fucking bottom of the clouds, and then you end up with
it's like fucking microwave
fucking surface temperatures.
Smell red. But if you throw up a shit ton of dust into that atmosphere, two things take place simultaneously. One, a lot of your especially if it's not dust from the surface, right? A lot of it will be surface dust, but a lot of it will be parts of this impactor, right? And the impactor will have just a random assortment of stuff in it, whereas the surface has already been scoured by acid for billions of years. So it'll neutralize some of the acids and whatnot that are a problem, but will reduce the surface temperature enough to cause most of them to literally fall out of the sky into lakes of battery acid, basically, which is an improvement.
All of this is making me think of like some kind of like science fiction story, like the first thing of like using the moons to colonize, to like terraform the planet. Just imagine you have like a race of aliens living on an ice ball, like either our technological level or something, and then sky people in metal dragons come out and just start slaughtering people, building great spec structures, and then you find out at the end of the movie or the end of the book, why did you do this? Why did you come? Because we need your planet to terraform a world. Why? Because we're getting paid a fuck ton of money to do it.
Yeah, it's profitable.
I think Shadow, you need to read a book by Terry Pratchett called Strata.
Yeah,
I need to read a lot of books by Terry Pratchett, according to you.
Specifically Strata. You need because look, here's the thing: the vast majority of his books all fall within a Discworld purview, which is a specific fantasy world. Strata was kind of the blueprint for that, but it's also not a fantasy book; it's science fiction, and it's one of his earlier books. But I think you definitely need to read this because the entire thing revolves around a corporation that goes around and builds planets from the core on up, and then deposits settlers on them. Right. And, like it goes into this whole thing about like a mythical flat planet out there somewhere. But one of the things that comes up in it that I think is hysterically funny is that occasionally the people who do the layers, who build the strata, if you will, get bored and decide to leave shit to fuck with future archaeologists, like a Stegosaurus with a Rolex.
Yeah.
Or a Triceratops with a no nuke sign.
Or that one asshole who left a hammer in some bituminous coal.
Yeah.
It's 30 years old, but it's just there.
Just to fuck with once the settlers get there and they have their histories and all that, like they're not going to realize eventually that their planet was just made by other people and they were deposited there. They're going to think that they evolved there and all that, and they're going to find these things as they dig further into the soil, and they're going to be immensely puzzled by it. It's a long-term practical joke, but it's very funny.
Not exactly the same thing, but that kind of reminds me of something that will happen in the 40K universe every once in a while. So there's this alien race called the Dark Eldar. They're basically the dark evil fetish elves. And they will raid planets for slave populations or just because they want to kill people and drag them kicking and screaming. And drag them kicking and screaming back into their little hell pocket dimension thing. Well, every once in a while, there will be one of their leaders who just wants to fuck with the human empire. So they will intentionally, after the war's done, turn the distress signal on, and then repair the planet as if there had been no attack. Include vast amounts of like tactical data and like screams for help from the local populace, and like make it seem like the planet's seen Armageddon, and then you have the Imperial armies like show up to take the planet, and it's perfectly fine, except for the fact that there's no people. And it's just like the biggest, what the fuck happened here? We have like all of this evidence that something horrendous happened. Something horrendous did happen, but this autistic motherfucker took the time to fix everything just to fuck with whoever found it. Fuck. I was reminded of that because of what you shared. And it was probably inspired by what you shared.
Yeah, read Sphere. It's a quick, it ain't even hard.
Yeah, it's Crichton. Michael Crichton. Same guy who wrote Jurassic Park. He wrote a bunch of other shit most people don't talk too much about, which they should.
Yeah, Instinct.
Yeah.
I think Instinct was another one of his.
Sue was the one about the giant albino murderous apes. I forget the Congo.
Congo.
Aren't those just white people with extra steps?
No, these were.
I was thinking that.
These were apes, and they were native to Africa. So they clearly weren't white people, but but no.
Dude, actually, Congo is a pretty good movie.
Eaters of the Dead is really good.
Dude, Eaters of the Dead. Listen, one of my favorite things about the Eaters of the Dead, it is, or rather, the 13th Warrior is based off of the book. The book is based off of some like 4th century writings of some guy who was rewriting his grandfather's travels, right?
Okay, so there was back before fucking Muhammad put a lockdown and all that stuff. Arabs did used to actually go out in the world and learn shit and write shit down and invent things and do all that stuff. And the dude you're talking about, I think, was Ibn al-Fawad or something like that. I think that was his name. Anyway, he was the traveler who is depicted in the 13th Warrior. Real dude, really went and met people from the north. Although, if you follow his writings, he didn't go to like Scandinavia. He ended up in the Viking Rus, right? The Kievan Rus before when the Vikings were there before it became Russians and all that stuff. But he did encounter Vikings. He just didn't encounter the Vikings that are depicted in that book.
Right.
But, he wrote all this shit down like fucking, like you said, something like 1,400 years ago, 1,500 years ago, something like that.
Here's the best part of that story. There are points in the story where he says, "I have been told." A lot of the sentences start off with things like, "I've been told that such and such and blah, blah, blah. In this land, they wash with the sands and dry themselves in the morning dew," or whatever, But then he'll say this other thing, "With mine own eyes I have seen," meaning these are things I heard. They're just rumors, but I actually saw this thing happen. Right. And I love that shit.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a good book. You should read it. The Eaters of the Dead. The other stuff is a little hard to get accurately translated from ancient Arabic, but check out Michael Crichton's got a lot of good shit. I think that you would probably enjoy. Andromeda Strain's up there. Fucking what was the Terminal Man? I think is really
Terminal
good.
Man's good.
Yeah. So most of the adaptations made from his stuff, not so much. Jurassic Park and the 13th Warrior are kind of the exceptions.
Gotcha. Well, my currentism is the general series by S.M. Sterling and whatever BattleTech books I'm able to grab my hands on that aren't post-jihad. So that'll probably end up in the back seat, but
you should
I'll
probably
eventually
also read the Pantheon series, actually, now that I think about it, because it's very focused on like military stuff, but with a mythological bent. Let me look it up real quick. I have all his books. I just don't have them in front of me.
Gotcha.
But essentially, each one of them is sort of a standalone kind of standalone novel that involves a specific pantheon. And they're all called things like Age of Ra, is I think the first one, right? Age of Aztec, Age of Zeus, Age of Odin, these kinds of things. By the way, Age of Aztec is fucking gloriously bloody.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Of course, that's your favorite one.
Well,
you violent savage.
They take place in the modern day or the near future. And in Age of Aztec, the Aztec Empire has actually conquered the entire planet. Kind of thing. And it's sort of about resistance to, are the gods real? Are they not real? And all this stuff. In Age of
James
Ra,
Lovegrove?
Yeah, Lovegrove. That's it.
Okay. Yeah, I just Googled Age of Aztec and that's what came up.
Yeah. Age of Ra is the first one, and in it takes place, all of the gods of ancient Egypt have basically divided up the world into little fiefdoms. And it's about the men on the ground who are, modern fucking soldiers fighting wars, on behalf of their patron deities.
Cool.
Kind of thing. I think you'd enjoy it because it kind of combines like the mythological aspect with the some very technical military jargon.
Gotcha.
Which
that is two autisms I have.
Yeah. That's why I recommended it to you.
Yeah.
I think pretty well written for the most part. Sorry, go ahead.
The whole idea that Native Americans never invented the wheel or didn't utilize it, it makes my brain hurt. Like, how?
Well, no, they actually did. It's we have evidence of them like having wheeled toys.
Wheels on toys.
No. And the thing is, the Greeks figured out the fundamentals for like the printing press, and they even developed experimental steam engines. The problem is the local culture wasn't really predisposed to making use of those tools very well. Like, same thing in China. China had the printing press. They had mag-fed crossbows. They're the ones who figured out gunpowder. The Romans also figured out napalm, but the Chinese also figured out their own kind of napalm on their own time. They had steamships before the
Romans
Portuguese
didn't figure out napalm. They modified Greek fire. It was discovered by the Greeks.
Yeah.
I meant the Byzantines, which are Greek Roman. You get my point, Sam. Like the Chinese had steam.
Look, if you can be pedantic, so can I.
Yeah, no, let's not get on this competition here. Abe's gonna win.
The Chinese had all these great technological advances, but they didn't have the culture to really capitalize on them. So when you get to a bunch of savage barbarians like the Europeans who didn't necessarily have those technological advances from their own production, but had the culture to look at the fundamentals and go, I can milk this, and then proceed to milk it to the point of, well, I have a repository of all human knowledge, or as
one of the things I love about Stargate is individual planets are seeded by individual cultures, and you get to kind of see what those cultures would do.
That's cool.
Given time and space. I love that shit.
There's a similar concept in the Ender's Game series. If you follow Ender's story, like each of the planets he goes to is basically a different culture from Earth.
Yeah.
Except modernized because they were all in the present day when they left Earth. But that's one of the reasons that I actually really liked Age of Aztec, is because the Aztecs were not idiots. Right, they were just cruel, and they were horrible, horrible, horrible overlords, which is why they actually lost. It wasn't because Cortez brought his 300 men and fucking conquered them. It's because Cortez brought his 300 men and made friends with all of the fucking tribes that hated the Aztecs.
any other man but Cortez, like there were multiple times the Aztecs almost beat the conquistadors. It took that specific leader and those specific that specific permutation of fighting men to put up with the bullshit. Like Cortez almost died 4 or 5 times, if I remember right, and only managed to win because he had "fuck it, we ball" energy.
Half the time he was being carried on a travois because he had freaking dysentery.
Yeah.
I mean, it was freaking rough, bro.
It was always funny to me because people are always going like, "Oh yeah, the Europeans brought diseases and killed all the Native Americans." I was like, "You don't have any idea how many diseases they brought back with them too."
Yeah,
syphilis.
Like that's ways, man.
Well, no, we only know of 2 that came back from the New World, and there's a reason for that.
Because most of them died.
No, the Old World, you had cities and you had people keeping animals in cities, in farms, local to cities, lots of poop everywhere. People were constantly the Old World Europe, and a slightly lesser effect, some of the early medieval Chinese cities, the way they were designed, were just
Old World Europe or modern day Britain,
basically.
Also modern day New York.
But when they came to the Americas, you know, it was hypothetically syphilis. I don't think it's actually been proven where it came from, but it did pop up in the right time period. And what's the other one? A type of anthrax, I think.
Yeah.
That's it.
AIDS. Yeah.
As opposed to partially blown Abes.
Oh yeah. If it's full blown, you're too far gone. If it's partial,
the reason
you might come back
on this this concept is because I don't.
Well, if you're not finished blowing me, Abe, I'm gonna be back. I paid for this. Don't short me.
But it's not unreasonable that given a long enough timeline and say no interference at that specific time by those specific people from the Spanish Empire, the Aztec Empire may very well have expanded into something considerably more modern.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a shot at this. Let's game this out, bro. I like where your head's at. So
I mean, it was pretty damn modern if you look at the way it's governing structure.
Very organized. They were absurd. They were literally religiously organized.
They were also very good at engineering. They built a stone city on top of a fucking lake.
And their don't forget their aqueduct. Yeah. No, their government structure was basically a less complicated HRE with significantly more vassals that couldn't vote.
No. So like, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibilities. Like if the Aztec Empire was still around today, I think that they would be a force to be reckoned with. In fact, I think everything south of probably even most of Texas south would be part of it.
Yeah, I think it depends on anything Texas, like anything Texas South. I definitely think it depends on certain military campaigns and which leaders are available where. If they have a counter to Lee, Grant, or like some of the earlier commanders, then they absolutely.
No, you've gone too far down the road. If the Aztec Empire was still extant when the Americans showed up, that would be a conversation. But it was eradicated by the Spanish conquistadors before America ever even was a breath on the wind. So whether or not they could deal with Santa Anna and all that is completely moot next to the idea of how would this culture advance into a more modern era. Right? They've got advanced engineering. They've got advanced mathematics. They've got advanced observational sciences. They probably had quite advanced alchemical studies as well, given the area that they lived in.
I think one of the really funny things.
This is a problem. The type of writing system they had was largely conceptual, and so trying to get really
pictographic, wasn't it?
Ideas. Yeah, it
was entirely pictographic. Entirely.
Exactly. So you're not talking about a word that means butterfly. It would be described more along the lines of the caterpillar house butterfly or the caterpillar house sparrow or something like that.
A concept dependent on its context in which it's used.
Right, which means you can't really do very advanced observational sciences and pass them on to future generations in any meaningful way. It sounds like
assuming the language doesn't evolve, though, right? That's assuming that the language doesn't evolve.
That was what I was getting at. Language has to evolve.
Even if it didn't evolve too much, like, you know, if you go back even as far as 5,000 years ago in Egypt, the hieroglyphic way that they had of communicating, it was still able to communicate immensely complex ideas, provided you knew the context, right?
And those were largely based around the different cities of learning that were teaching the different conceptual interpretations of those markings.
Mm-hmm.
And so someone from Thebes might misunderstand something written from Memphis.
Also, with something like the Aztec Empire, they had a very different numbering system that Eurasia had. Eurasia had the incredible invention of zero. Zero. That alone revolutionized civilization. They didn't have that.
Okay, so they'd have to invent zero.
Shadoo, go ahead.
Well, I mean, they could have.
Go ahead, Shadoo.
Yeah. Well, I mean, are we assuming like they never have European contact, or they managed to drive off the Spanish? Like, because that would, because if it's the case of, hey,
we are assuming. No, it's just cut it down a little bit. We are assuming that when Montezuma met Cortez caught a violent illness, and him and all his men died, and were not interfered with at that point. Was able to take on some of the technologies from the invaders and actually adapt and proliferate into the future to a modern society. What would that take?
Gotcha.
So like they'd be inspired by these seafaring ships, you know, that were, you know, not something that they themselves used, right? But they would see this and they'd be like, okay, so these guys have some stuff that we can use. How can we adapt this to our civilization? And then they move forward.
I mean, we have an example of that in history with first contact between the United States and Japan.
Yeah. Actually.
The exact same shit happened.
I definitely think two things to be considered would be, first, the fact that the Aztecs had metallurgy. Like when Cortez like turned and went to the like his allies, they was like, hey, I need you guys to make me lances kind of like this, and they showed up with copper lances. So they had an idea of what metallurgy was. It just wasn't widely used due to a variety of factors. So they see, hey, yeah, well, it wasn't steel, but they had metal. They were doing basic metallurgy. They just hadn't progressed it very far for a variety of factors. So if they see, hey, this is metal, we could potentially get to this point. So there might be the desire to make metal things, which would start a level of discovery towards metallurgy, which might lead to other developments. And then the other big thing, well, yes, there are a lot of steps, but it might be a catalyst of, hey, this is a thing that can be done. Let's try. Like a lot of the things the Russians did in the Cold War was, hey, America has X. Can we get to X? And they would do a lot of scientific stuff they wouldn't have necessarily come up with on their own because they were chasing X. The other thing is the Spaniards were devout Catholics. They would have had a lot of Bibles. Bibles are written in a language. So the point that you guys were making about the linguistics, like not necessarily allowing for effective codification of language, if they have the Bibles and somehow some of the locals don't die, like Malinche doesn't die, or some of the other locals who've been taught Spanish that can read it to them, you might see either them start using Spanish for coding information, or they might adapt their own alphabet for the purposes of coding information in written form, which would remove that issue you were describing earlier.
No, I think that's fair. I think they wouldn't just have access to Bibles either. They would also have access to whatever diaries these guys left behind, whatever journals, whatever handwritten materials. And even most of their Bibles would have been handwritten at the time.
Well, Bibles are guaranteed.
Each ship would have a blacksmith on board. And if one of these blacksmiths had taken the time to teach just one of the locals the basics of the trade, I don't think it would take but about 3 generations to go from knowing how to make basic steel to being able to compete with
technological explosion. Yeah.
Now the fun part is how you stop them from going back to the state they were before, where, hey, we've hit like this new level of development, and they just kind of sit. Because one of the problems that like the Aztec Empire ran into was expansion became and this was the same problem the Romans had. Expansion became not really necessary or viable. They couldn't really go too much more north because northern Mexico's a fucking desert, and going south, sure we can, but we're getting enough slaves, we're getting enough maize, we're getting enough gold, we're getting enough jade. We don't really need to go further south. So you would need some reason for them to want to either go over the desert or go south.
Here's the reason. It's the same reason that the Spanish showed up there, you know?
Right.
God.
Yeah.
That's all.
Just curiosity.
Is our gods are the biggest gods, are the best gods, are the strongest gods, and you will bow before those gods. I don't see the Aztec behaving any differently than the fucking conquistadors in that regard.
And there is no chance for them to become stagnant because there are other conquistadors coming this way. They know this now, and they've seen the ships that they sail. And never underestimate the power of genius. There will be some 10-year-old boy who looks at that ship and goes, I get it. And he'll be able to go and draw one on a wall and be like, this is how this works.
So wouldn't that lead more to either a fortification of what they already have, which doesn't allow for the expansion outwards, or B, a reprisal, which means instead of going up into North America and South America, they go into the Caribbean. Wait, hold on, but then naval power, and then they could just circumvent the desert and go into North America.
Yeah, yeah. Once they manage to capture,
does geography exist?
Yeah.
No, my brain. It was like my brain was thinking, like going north, going south, boats. Okay, yeah. Well, then would just be fighting the Spanish. Wait a minute, Florida's closer to Cuba than Spain is. Am I just being retarded? A little bit.
You were thinking of Aztecs without any type of mechanization or modernization. They're just walking, right? Rome did it. It's not impossible. They crossed the deserts and seas too.
Short on the desert.
Is we are juxtaposing, call it mid 18th century technology directly over the Mesolithic technology that they had in situ, right? They did have metallurgy. They did have various sciences they were working on. They didn't have a viable language for exchanging the information, and they didn't have a very good system for passing down this information in a useful manner. It became across as more of a spell to be cast than it was a scientific documentation, right?
I mean, essentially, if all they really had to do was adopt reading and writing on the level of the Spanish, and I think the possibilities are pretty much endless. And as far as expansion goes, maybe they don't expand, right? Maybe they just continue to move forward into modernity where they are. They were already a pretty expansive empire at the time. Right.
Yeah.
So I think the only real rivals they had the local rivals that they had, and they ended up stomping them out too, effectively, were the Olmecs.
Well, and that's why China didn't really advance the same way that Europeans did, where they had really cool technology every once in a while, but they never really used it to advance that much. Chinese culture and China as a whole, it kind of advanced.
Europe wasn't under constant threat of fucking Mongol invasion either.
That's true.
China wasn't actually.
What?
China wasn't under constant threat of Mongol.
Most of Europe.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, because for the steppe tribes, they usually weren't in large enough. Like, sure, they would burn down a village, take out a city, maybe occupy a region for a bit, but it wasn't until the moment.
No, I get what you're saying. No, the Mongols weren't always under a Khan, but they were always fucking Mongols, dude. It doesn't take but a double handle to burn
but
you.
They weren't. They were a threat on the frontier, but China as a whole didn't have to adapt its entire society to dealing with a threat. Compare that to random German prince.
They did adapt their entire society to that one threat. That's what the fucking wall was for. The guy who built the wall is the guy who united all of China under one emperor, specifically
do you know what they
combat the Mongol threat.
You know what the Mongols did? They just went round the wall.
Of course they did. But the thing that he did that was revolutionary compared to other chieftains, he instituted the very first mandatory standing military made by every fighting age man from 14 to 60. And they all helped build the wall. They all helped feed the troops. They all did all of it all the time.
Yep.
And their culture and society basically stayed the same until the Europeans showed up and fucked everything up for them. Stagnation and prosperity is not
Boxer Rebellion, but yeah.
Stagnation and prosperity isn't a good thing for a society's development. You might get cool technology out of it, but you won't really apply it to anything. The reason why the Europeans were so dominant is the fact they were constantly facing conflict. So
I think one of the best examples of this, Shadoo, is the use of gunpowder, invented in China, only efficiently utilized by Europeans.
And not just gun.
There's a book which I'm loath to recommend because I know that the person who authored it is a fucking absolute leftist retard, Jared Diamond, and it's called Guns, Germs, and Steel.
Yes.
The three main reasons why Europeans came to dominate the world. But it sort of conveniently sidesteps some things that aren't as easily explained. So the Chinese had gunpowder. Sure. They had grenades. Sure. Did they have European steel? No.
They didn't have European manufacturing.
No.
They didn't have European ingenuity for war.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because they didn't need it. Because the Europeans were constantly killing each other, or killing Arabs, or killing Finns, or killing Englishmen, or they were never having. Whereas the Chinese just kind of sat there and just vibed. Which, if the Aztecs don't have if the Aztecs don't have
I want history books from henceforth to describe the Chinese.
It's vibing.
After the Qin dynasty, they were just vibing.
Pretty much. Yeah. They had a few sucky. They had to get sucky at a couple times, but usually they were just vibing.
See, the thing about ancestor worship is it creates extremely stagnant societies that change very slowly because people try to emulate their grandfather, great-grandfather, or whatever. And so the new ideas are just not taken on board seriously until a need arises. White folks showing up generally tends to jumpstart the local economy around the warfare options.
Well, it doesn't even need to be just ancestor worship. Like if you look at the Japanese with their heavy focus and heavy emphasis on face, where hey, I've got this cool idea, but it would break face for me to suggest it or try to implement it.
Dishonorable.
Yeah, exactly. It would be dishonorable. And now, granted, dishonor can be a good thing if people are dying, but if my suggestion is just, hey, this would make our lives better, I'm violating face, therefore I am a failure, my family are a failure, I have insulted everyone, and I would have to kill myself, so I'm just going to keep that to myself.
I think you've inadvertently highlighted something that's actually kind of important to take into consideration here, too, and that is unique cultural identifiers like face, which is uniquely Japanese. A concept similar to that exists in most of Asia, but the what you're talking about with the adherence to honor to a suicidal degree is uniquely Japanese, right?
Yep. And I think
the Aztecs are not the Japanese. They're not going to have that same issue. They every culture views honor differently,
right?
They absolutely
Aztecs.
And Aztecs. Sorry, Sam or Squatch.
The Aztecs seems to have carried honor in battle and in fatherhood. And raising warriors was just as honorable as being a great warrior yourself. So even if you end up turning you catch an arrow to the knee, and you can no longer adventure. And you are as a great ancestor because you may well have created the next dynasty by creating 5 warriors.
Yeah. You yourself may not have been Belisarius or
I used to be a jaguar priest. And then I took an arrow.
I was going to be the greatest jaguar knight the world's ever seen, but I got my leg caved in by a fucking club. So my son did it instead, and I get all the
they had
credit.
arrows. They had arrows.
They had arrows. You take an
Right,
arrow.
but mine is more bloody and visceral.
As a matter
and
of
more
fact,
unique.
I
can't get sued by Bethesda.
They had basketball, man.
Well, that's the other thing. It was kind of basketball, kind of soccer, kind of human sacrifice.
Soccer-ish.
Yeah, but
just any excuse to kick around a human
Actually, the best analogy I've found as far as rules is lacrosse.
Yeah,
That checks out.
Yeah, as far as actual
without
rules go,
sticks.
yeah.
Hold on, that's the game that like you used your hips to like bounce things with.
No,
right?
you use your hips, your knees, your elbows, anything but your hands and your
Okay.
hand. Well,
I think that might explain certain reasons why people like Latinos then.
And in some cases, killing your opponent is a perfectly reasonable move.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't that a perfectly reasonable move in boxing and wrestling?
I mean, it's not
No,
really. People don't really like
I can
that
play
when you
around
do
them.
that because
no.
you
When
can't
you're boxing,
make
you're
any
not
money off
trying
a
to
dead
kill a
boxer.
person.
That explains the bench warrant from IRS. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. You know,
God
this
damn it.
sumbitch is going to be joining our military soon, y'all. Started
Yeah,
with
listen,
shit.
of
It's
course.
wholly illegal.
Listen, don't worry about it, guys. I took like that part of my physical. They did like a STD test. I tested
Yep.
negative for empathy, negative for ethics, negative for morals or scruples. We'll be fine.
Nice.
Oh yeah, that'll
Nice.
work out.
That's the
but
best
yeah,
kind of soldier.
But that's kind of what I was getting at. Is like when we're talking about the Aztec, it's not like they were without ingenuity, right? I mean, they ended up inventing. I think concurrently, I think you can find this particular device in other locations, but really, it's known for Mesoamerica, the atlatl, which is a delivery device for a long throwing sharp object that is far more efficient and accurate than hand throwing it.
It's basically super lawn darts.
Yeah.
And Sam, I'm not saying they aren't capable of ingenuity. I'm saying when you remove the motivation for ingenuity, you're not going to see innovation or ingenuity. The need of like, hey, we need something, we need a good long dart, we need a good ranged weapon comes from, hey, we need to hit that guy from over here, but we can't do that with our hands.
Sure.
Figure
Here's
out.
your motivation.
However,
Remove
here
the
we
need.
go. Here we go. All right. So I understand what you're saying. I'm saying that Cortez's visit would have been the motivation they needed for at least the next century. And who knows what they would accomplish in that time or what other reasons they might find in that time.
I mean, it's one of the most resource-rich locations in the world.
Mm-hmm. And you're talking
That's
about an
awesome.
empire that was already 500 years old and had advanced significantly since its inception.
Right.
Yeah.
Their pottery is almost space-age technology, bro. It's wild.
Yeah, no, like I'm not disputing. I'm not disputing that they aren't capable of it. That's why I was going back and asking, like, where are they in the developmental chain? But I do think I'm correcting myself with the direction of advancement, because with like the ships going, hey, ships are a thing. We need to go deal with those Spaniards. From what Squatch was describing, that would be motivation enough. And then the young men going, damn, I could get some land out of this. I could make my own Tenochtitlan with blackjack and hookers would be motivation enough to see Aztec civilization spread out all along North America and South America.
It's
Sure. And the resources they have access to. I mean,
You're pronouncing it like a Jew.
I might be 0.02 Ashkenazi. Go fuck yourself all the same.
God, man.
But
Who the
CH
fuck
is
let
a
this Jew on the panel?
sound.
It's
not a
Jew, eh?
Or
That's not even real to say. They will never do a fucking genetic test. They will never. Have you ever
seen the Amazon rainforest on TV?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the reason Cortez burned his ships. He looked and went, yeah, we'll be able to build some more ships. So let's say the Aztec take a look at those ships and they go, they need oars. Because we got a bunch of people, right?
Yep.
And they took equivalent technology. They straight up jacked a handful of blacksmiths and a handful of weavers and whatnot. And they come back at Spain with the equivalent technology in 100 years.
Yeah.
Guys, no, first of all, it's partially Ashkenazi, so that's not even real Jew. It's from my mom's side, which is largely Irish, which is the bigger problem. and I'm a fucking dirty yank mutt. So does it really matter?
All right, who the fuck let this Khazarian on the stream?
All I was saying
I'm not
was
a
that
fucking
the
step tribe
pronunciation
bastard.
linguistically,
You can call me many things. Do not call me an
Tenochtitlan is pronounced with the
anti-civilizational horse fucking
sound,
step
not a
tribe.
sound. That's all I was
Fuck
getting at.
yourself.
I'm not
Welcome
sure.
to this special episode of Trigonometry.
Yeah,
right.
how have I becoming angry? This has nothing to do with me.
Oh man, that's okay. Yeah, we're getting taken down. I shouldn't have said what I did. Apparently,
I am mostly fucking Celt.
dude.
Yep.
Oh. Damn.
It's okay, dude. He's only 51%
move
gay.
Abe over so you can be a little closer to that comment. How's that?
Yeah.
I mean, aside from the married thing, don't fuck with married people. But
Yeah, plus it's a dude, so yeah.
Yeah, but he's only 51% gay, and you're that 1%. You're the that's you.
Yeah.
You're the one.
I have said this on many occasions. I fucking hate this panel. I especially hate that chat.
Just so you know,
It's got one brain cell. Chat has one brain cell, and it exists to piss me off.
he is a black Inuit basket weaving underwater paraplegic Jew who
Hell yeah.
he's only slightly gay.
1% gay. Did I get that right, dude, or do you want to type it in chat? Yeah, he's that 1%. I know, dude. I saw the sparkling guy.
It's pretty legit. Yeah.
I fucking hate all of you.
Oh man, this is good. Dude, we only got a couple weeks left with you, man.
It's okay. We're just gonna shop you around like a cheap hooker.
Oh, it gets worse. It gets worse. 10th man.
I have this horrible fucking mental image of me graduating, of me getting ready to graduate, me getting ready to like be sworn in, and then I see you motherfuckers sitting in the bleachers.
Oh, dude. 10th man. I was on a paddle with 10th man one day, and he poured bombed himself 3 times in a row with the same jerk off video from some other dude while I was on paddle, and I was like, he's like, I'm sorry. I was like, oh my god. It's great. It's fun.
Dude, 10th man, you have made my whole fucking week.
Oh, just wait. It's good shit. Hold up.
Oh,
Let me do some
shit.
stuff.
So
get your link up there.
here's the thing. We had a bunch of other topics. I don't think we're going to get to them because honestly, this whole like what if scenario with the Aztecs has been a lot more interesting.
I love this type of alt history stuff. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have been a big deal. Like if it had been the Toltecs, that would have been an entirely different discussion. While they weren't as technologically advanced as the Aztecs, they did have a bit of metallurgy, and they had designed a handful of roads. So the seed kernel is there. Had they developed the wheel and went on to utilize agriculture as the basis of their expansion, there's no telling where it could have ended, because they had like 167 different crops instead of like the 12 that the Aztec planted and the 16 that we use. They had hundreds.
Yeah.
Fucking yawn. Motherfucking yawn. Why?
Hey, oh god. I mean, I don't know what to say, man. I
Everyone
think
has
Diddy is eternal. It's like it. You know,
Yeah.
it's never
You
going
did
anywhere.
Diddy is all knowing, all invading.
You did not just fucking say with a perfectly straight face, Diddy is eternal.
I did, in fact. Yeah.
Put that on a fucking t-shirt.
You might have a Diddy right up in you right now. And you'll never know.
Hey, look, man. I'm just saying, somewhere down the line in some other world and time and place, somebody's going to be like, ain't no party like a Diddy party.
Unfortunately, time is a flat circle, so I will have to live through this moment again someday.
All
No,
this
that's
happened
just
before, and all of this will happen.
Joke's
again.
on you.
Your fans, your biggest fans link is backstage. Feel free to subscribe. I'm sure he'd appreciate it. Just do it, bro. Trust me, he's hilarious when he gets perturbed.
Oh, damn!
I see that. I can see that he's hilarious. That is fucked.
I'm just saying, bro.
This is terrible.
Well,
For the record,
I'm gonna
YouTube
say- I'm gonna
algorithms,
say-
we are just joking. Just
Did
putting
he
that
done
out
did
there.
it?
What I'm gonna say, this is not the first time that I've been like those kinds of comments have been directed at me. This is the first time it's happened in the YouTube space.
It's not the
it's
first
not
time
by
it's
one
been
of these
diddied.
fuckers, so it's
This guy right here. He's
1.62K. Okay.
Yeah, no, he's just some guy. He's just a dude.
That is not what I fucking said, Andy. Go fuck yourself.
All right, so we might bring that up in a second. I don't know. I like I said, the whole Aztec thing, and then we got sidetracked with the 10th man diddying our soon-to-be young officer. But that whole supposition, the idea that if things had gone slightly differently, if Cortez had not won out, we might see a very different world today, or at least this part of it. And I don't know how different. I mean, look, advancement tends to happen along parallel lines, right?
Yeah.
So, eventually Aztecs, if they had continued developing and not stagnated and decayed like all empires inevitably do, I don't know, they might have evolved into something that more resembles the society that we have today, or at least a society that exists today. Somewhere that's not, in
With more murder,
of
course.
Yeah, there'd be more cultural artifacts, but yeah.
Here's a hypothetical. Let me run this one by you.
Oh.
The slave trade has nothing to do with labor. It is merely for sacrifices. The entire Atlantic slave trade, rather than being the sugar cane and all of that, that's true too. But it's for sacrifices, Aztec sacrifices.
Yeah.
What is it?
Fucking hell, that would be a 10 times bleaker world.
Say that again, Shadow.
Sam, this was a question for you, Sam, because I never really thought about it. Like, do they specifically need to be like war slaves, or could you literally just buy slaves for the sacrifices? Like, are the gods?
No, dude,
the
the gods aren't that
No,
picky. They just care about the human blood spilled. That's it. That's all they care about.
Also, most of the people who died were volunteers.
But a lot of them were volunteers, and if they didn't have enough people to sacrifice from like their conquering or whatever, they needed a certain quota, right?
Yeah.
People, their own people, high rank, low rank, whatever caste, would fucking volunteer to be sacrificed, like willingly, and shit like that. The gods did not care who the sacrifices were.
It was like one of the highest honors of their civilization.
Africa would be depopulated in a couple fucking decades. Holy fuck!
Well,
I'd give it 5 years.
I think they'd have to fight the Dahomes over it, but yeah.
Dahomey wouldn't care. The Dahomey would be like, "Yo, these guys are consistent customers every month, every year, like fucking clockwork."
But the Dahomes
They
were
show
also
up with
into
gold.
human sacrifice. They needed some for their own reserves.
And there's some. They're they'll just start breeding them in the fucking slave pits. That's fine.
So
They'll go raid India. They'll just go raid India.
Maybe.
It sounds like Jesuit propaganda. There are no Jesuits here.
Sam's a pagan that hates everything. Squatch is questionable. Abe is an atheist, and I'm a Christian supremacist. There's no Jesuits here.
Actually, I'm a Power Ranger. Fuck you.
He is a Power Ranger. In fact, he's the Green Ranger.
I believe in the power of Zordon.
Ranger.
He is not a spiritual entity. He's not a spiritual entity, so therefore atheist.
Look, I get my powers from the morphing grid. It's technology, and it's kind of mystical. Don't ask about it.
Yeah.
Atheist.
Not necessarily. You don't know that. You don't know who he prays to when he goes home and he takes off his fucking helmet.
Mm-hmm.
Never assume that because somebody doesn't adhere to one of the main religions that they're an atheist. Never assume that.
Let's try
I
this
know.
one.
You taught me that. I still think Abe's an atheist because I'm pretty sure he said it before. I think.
Let's try this one. Handful of blacksmiths and some Jesuit priests survive. That's the religion they go with.
That's actually
scary.
I'm gonna ignore that. I'm gonna fucking ignore that and talk to Squatch. Squatch, are you familiar with the YouTube channel Alternate History Hub?
Yeah. I love that shit.
They did like a few years back, I think, or it was recently. I don't remember which. They did a "What if Cortez lost" video, and one of the things, the ideas he came to was that it would be Christianity would like flood in because the Aztecs would go, hold on, there's a god that does all the stuff our gods do, and he doesn't need us to sacrifice people?
Bullshit.
Shit, that actually sounds pretty aight.
I was thinking that the Jesuits would go along with the sacrifices in order to accrue more power within the society. I mean, and so
the Jesuits were pretty fucking shady dudes.
They're savage as fuck, dude. Go read the when you become a Jesuit, you have to take an oath. Go read the Jesuit oath and then talk to me. Yeah. The Jesuit oath absolves one of all sin, provided you are fighting for the glory of a particular thing.
That sounds like being a Muslim.
Mm-hmm. Go read it, dude. It's savage. Whoa.
Yeah. It's a.
You would think that was some
the Jesuits are the Jesuits are one of the orders that all of the other orders fucking like feel like they got to go scrub the inside of their skin when they're hanging around these guys. Like the Dominicans don't fucking like them, and the Dominicans did some shady shit too. You know, the Gregorians mostly just chanted and made calendars, but
make some boss ass albums. Yeah.
So, but you know, none of these guys, like the Jesuits, are seriously like jacked up in terms of what they consider acceptable to do. So yeah, it's a whole thing. Now imagine that kind of zealousness, though, right? Because when you're talking about, I need to go back to something. When you talk about like, you know, oh, well, you don't have to do human sacrifice to these gods. Now, that's not to say that blood sacrifice isn't necessary. In fact, it's prescribed in the Bible for the God of Abraham. Blood sacrifice is a thing, has been a thing, and technically the Jews should still be practicing it, but they are not currently because, as it turns out, there's a bunch of things about livestock and like zoning regulations and all that. But generally speaking, yeah, blood sacrifice is absolutely a thing, and if anybody goes around telling you that the God of Abraham has never accepted human sacrifice, just look at their Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Sam's right. Me, the Christian supremacist here, Sam's right on all accounts.
You know, and even you go far back as Abraham and Isaac, right? Even though God steps in at the last moment and says, "I was just fucking with you, son," Abraham believed it.
Yeah.
But the only one he's accepted was Christ.
Yeah, he didn't accept Abel. He didn't think that was a very good sacrifice at all.
He was like, bro, Cain, listen, I like the moxie. I like the name. like, don't get me wrong, dude.
It's supposed to be a goat.
Like, listen, I'll give you good harvest. I'll give you good harvest for the fucking moxie. I'm cursing you and your bloodline for freaking me the fuck out.
You know, the story of Cain and Abel always puts me in mind of the story of King Tantalus.
That's the one that correct me if I'm wrong. That's the one who like kept food from the gods or something like that, and so they stuck him in the underworld where he's like, there's a great branch right above him, and he tries to grab it and he can't, and there's water.
You got the end of the story correct, but not the beginning.
What did I get wrong?
Okay, so King Tantalus was a miserly bastard of a king, and his children were conniving little bitches who were all basically just waiting for him to die so they could claim their inheritance and fight over that. He didn't like any of them. They didn't like him. And he was also a very, very wealthy one who boasted that he was as wealthy as, any on Olympus and that kind of thing. So this, of course, gets Zeus's attention, because if any time you compare yourself to the Olympians, they get super jealous, and they're like, prove it, bitch. And if you can't, they do something fucked up to you. So Zeus comes down and he's like, dude, you can't be saying this shit. And he's like, oh, I'm very sorry. Let me make a meal. Invite the Olympians to a meal in my house to make up for this, right? And so they get there, they have the meal, it's glorious, everybody's happy and everybody's full and all that. And Zeus looks around for a while and he goes, yo, Tantalus, where are thy children? I haven't noticed them running around. There's lots of servants, and we're all sitting around this table and we're eating this fine meal that you've provided for us, and it's very good, and I appreciate it, and we applaud you for your generosity and your hospitality, but where are your children? And Tantalus looks at Zeus and says, you just ate them. Because he murdered and fed his own children to the gods to basically spit in both of their faces. Then he was condemned to Tartarus, where he was placed on an island with fresh water and a tree with fresh fruit that would recede from his grasp in his mouth every time he tried to eat or drink, which is where we get the word tantalize from.
I feel like I feel like it was less the murder of the children that he hated and more that he tried to feed people, or he tried to feed his children to people
he
who got
eaten. He did.
Well, you get my point. The audacity of hold on. You're telling me that my origin story, my canon event, was being eaten by my father, and you fed me your kid. I'm sending you to extra hell. Okay, like Lucifer's part of hell, that ain't high enough for you. I'm not sending you to his boiler room. I'm sticking you in the fucking deep end. I'm sticking you in the fucking deep fryer of the fucking Waffle House in hell.
Well, it gets better. Tartarus is not just a place; it's also a primordial being that predates even the Titans.
No, I know he's about as old as Chaos and Night. I'm more.
Night is a child of Chaos, not as old as.
What was it? Theseus. What was the? It was done in the style of 300, but it depicted Theseus doing his thing.
Yeah. It was fucking God of something.
It's Immortals. I'm pretty sure it was just Immortals.
Immortals. Anyway, yeah, that's it. Henry Cavill was into that.
At the very beginning of that movie, it shows you their depiction of Tartarus, and in it, the gods that would not that could have been gods had been locked in a cube with a literal yoke through their cheeks to lock their mouths in place so that they have no power to speak or act. Their wrists are chained to the same rod, and the rods actually go like into the earth itself on both sides of this prison.
Yeah. Tartarus.
Metaphorically speaking, that's about as hellish as you could get.
Honestly, the worst BDSM party I've ever been to.
Yeah,
or the best.
Hey, Sam,
there's just no imagination in it. I came here for some pinhead type shit. Where's my Cenobites at?
Abe has never been to Komarog or to Nagaroth, very clearly. Bro's never hung around with the children of Kylementia Kane.
Mm-hmm.
What was that? Sasquatch?
Where's my shubs at?
I helped. I get, what do you call it? Featured. I've been featured in a bit of a diss video against like Andrew Wilson and the Crucible over here, and they did a bunch of like AI stuff. It's the Raging Tomato, and it's like 4 minutes long, 4:22, and it's kind of funny, but maybe it's
2 seconds too long.
Yeah, no, we can't do it. There's nothing we can do about it.
Damn it.
Lost thing.
How did you get roped up into a hit piece on Andrew Wilson?
Because I'm producer for several different people on YouTube, and it just sort of happened. I had this idea. We were live and having a conversation. She had a Crucible jacket, and I was like, it should happen, right? You should do like a photo shoot with the Crucible jacket, like the naughty pictures that got that nice young lady kicked out of college.
Real quick, welcome in the dumbfounded dipshits. Is that a Tool reference? It sounds like
it could be. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it is. Anyway.
Nice. Greetings.
Yeah, no, he's Sasquatch is considerably more connected than some of us. Yeah.
I just don't advertise it a whole lot. You know, like if somebody wants, if they want you to know that I'm a part of their channel, they'll fucking tell you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really my job to do so.
Yeah, no, I mean, I knew that you. Yeah, because I know you're like you've got your hand in many, your fingers in many pies, and like a lot bigger than way bigger than the rest of us. I didn't realize like you were like walking that kind of circle shit. I didn't realize that far.
I prefer production value over actual content creation. I think y'all are responsible for the content. I'm just here to make it look good.
Yeah, I mean, we could honestly change 6 degrees from Kevin Bacon to 6 degrees from Sasquatch if we really wanted to, and play it with YouTubers these days.
Just to an extent, he's not wrong. To an extent,
yeah. Same here. Yeah.
I mean, I haven't made any content in like 5 months, so I'm kind of failing you right now, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but I mean, like take Andrew Wilson. You mentioned it, the whole Andrew Wilson thing. So Piers, whatever the fuck his name is. I keep wanting to say Anthony. That's not Anthony. It's
not Anthony.
The British fucking guy who talks too much.
Morgan.
Piers Morgan, the cunt.
Piers Morgan,
allegedly.
King of all cunts.
I don't care that he's a cuck. I really don't. That sounds like a personal fucking
allegedly.
Off topic. I do think it's kind of fucked up that he went after a professed devout Catholic for being a virgin when he's not married. But whatever.
It's ridiculous.
You know,
the whole thing was ridiculous.
I don't like Fuentes either. But like, he doesn't have to make the argument that I'm a virgin because he's a fucking Catholic. Like it's fine. It's whatever.
You know, I'll never say this ever again, but in Piers Morgan's defense, I tweeted at him, right? And I haven't been blocked yet.
Oh, this is a big up.
I'm actually impressed.
That's not a high bar. That's not a high bar.
However, I'm probably going to get fucking coppers at my door at some point.
Yeah, well, you know.
Because he's a total twat. Yeah.
So, anyway,
he's a total twat. He's probably going to complain about it.
To get back to what I was saying, this was the whole tangent here. So Piers Morgan has Andrew on regularly, right? Andrew was also featured on Raging Tomato regularly. Sasquatch does production work and is occasionally a guest on Raging Tomato.
Okay. I didn't know that. Because I knew that Squatch worked with Raging Tomato. I didn't know that she got... that Andrew Wilson showed up over there.
Okay.
Yeah, there was some sort of subjugation attempt to brand Tomato as being a Crucible channel for a moment there. I suspect, I don't have direct like evidence of that, but that's what all of this feels like. And then because she wouldn't kowtow to the terms without a contract, he became very angry and smited her. And there's been this little diss thing going back and forth between them for like the past couple of months that as a byproduct of working with her and some of the other people on her panels and the Powdered Dusty and a few other folks, I've kind of been roped into. And so I was featured in the Panelverse bit about, it's just a what's it called? A Panelverse Christmas? A cuckable Christmas in the Panelverse. And it's like the night before.
Fuckable Christmas.
Yeah. Dude.
God damn.
I got it shared backstage. If you're interested.
That is morally reprehensible that you strongly together.
So this is a product of the Raging Tomato. Like, comment, and subscribe. And she also has a few other channels, the Sleepy Tomato and a couple others. But
that's such an accurate representation right here to Wilson's house. Like, because the dude makes bank. He does. I can't fault him for that. He makes bank, and the rest of the Panelverse are a bunch of poor ass fucking motherfuckers. They're making meth in a shed somewhere.
I put my socks in your dry.
The fucking mailbox as well. Will Slusons.
The equivalency we made of it is him pissing off the homeless encampment at the end of the block. Like, why? What do you possibly benefit?
Yeah.
I don't get it. But anyway, check this out. 4 minutes.
It was the night before Christmas when all through the house, not a creature was stirring, except for this dude. We don't know what he was staring at, but he kept looking hard. Ugh. But just next door, there was a party going on, a Panelverse Christmas out on the lawn. Wait, what's that noise? He said. So he ran next door, leaving his wife in bed. I'll show them the power of the cuckable.
Yeah.
Did she just make out like the rest of the Panelverse is basically Uncle Eddie in Christmas Vacation?
Well, that's what I'm saying, dude. Why would you go and piss off the homeless encampment at the end of your block, dude? What benefit are you? They have nothing to lose, bro. They're already high and they don't care.
That's fair enough. And here comes Clark Griswold to fucking set it right.
He's gonna work, bro. He's definitely gonna win.
Holy shit.
This is my shot. He ran so fast, then he bumped his head. Now visions of the Panelverse danced in his head.
And here's the fucked up thing. These things are just good enough. I can name most of them. That's grid 1 all day long, bro. That is definitely grid 1.
Why does the middle one look like Tectone on that first show?
Do what?
Like when it transitioned from the elves to the thuggery in the background, the middle one looked just like fucking Tectone for some reason.
What the fuck is this frame?
Just let it go, bro. I can't explain all the lore.
It's fine. It's fine.
Why is there a dude wearing a gimp mask in the middle, dressed as a reindeer, with a dude in reindeer pajamas and a fucking anthro reindeer
that's
being shot at by a Vietnam War vet?
Just let it happen, bro.
Why not?
The brown-nosed reindeer, not to kiss a lot of ass. It's the...
All right, so some of these are homies. Some of these are new. They're homies in the future, though.
Yep.
Trippy Cast, Angry Hornet. I can't remember that dude's name. That's Adonis Paul and Rude Mud Crab.
Wonderful troll of the year. I'm not Indian. I'm not Indian. Last Christmas, I gave you duppies. The very next day, you threw them away. This year, to save me from tears. Like, I'm totally going to give them to someone better. Duh.
Admiral Gibbs.
Don't want no Sims for Christmas.
That's Snow. Balderson. Nightish in the major.
Like the chance of the world, because the Lord, he has come.
The machine lies. Your locksmith Jeremy and Robbie Noor. No, actually, that's locksmith Jeremy. You'll know me.
In the name of the Father, I cast you out. No! The power!
Let it flow. And then he awoke. What a wild dream. The power of the Panelverse is here. So it seems. So he got himself up and walked back to the door. Sadness he felt with his heart on the floor. I'll have a blue Christmas without you. I'll have a blue Christmas.
Is Sarah doing all the singing here?
Without you.
I think all of the
Destiny.
vocals are her, bro. Yes, this is Destiny with his wife.
Fucking hell.
No, if that's Sarah doing all that singing, I mean, she's not bad.
She's not bad. She's got skills. I mean,
that's her singing.
Yes, as far as I know, yes.
Wow,
makes me happy too, man, because I love the credits. The credits are great.
What a weirdo he was. Quite a strange little guy.
No. No.
Uh-oh.
Maybe he's bi.
Marathon Kev, Snow, 10th man. He's in the chat. Teeny Bug. Man, Rob Norris listed as mouth breather.
Nice.
Oh, man.
3 baby daddies. Do you know who that is?
No, I do know who Rude Mud Crab is because there's another mud crab who's also Australian, and they don't know each other.
Right? Yeah, no, we've had that conversation.
Mud crab war.
There's me, right there in the middle.
What exactly is this like a response to, or is this just like out of nowhere? Because
It's an internet flame war between a homeless encampment and an established Orthodox channel, right?
Right, but like, what sparked the flame war?
So for about a year, maybe 8 months, Sarah was scheduling a third of Andrew's debates, some number of them. I don't know exactly how many. I know he had a bunch. He had a whole bunch. But she was involved in scheduling some of that, and she hosted a whole bunch of them. And there was no contract involved in the business relationship between them two. It was all done, verbally and whatnot. And at some point in time, after she did one of her 7.5 hour long panels, she came over to Powdered Dusty's, and we were sitting around laughing and joking about people spurging out on the internet. She giggled about some shit that Rob Nord said, and there was some other stuff in the background between them that I'm not 100% clear on. But Rob basically pulled rank as an employee of the Crucible and had the rug pulled out from under Sarah suddenly, right? Because she laughed at something, and they're calling it brigading, that we were going to troll when he has an open panel and he invites people in like a call-in show. And while we were live, we were in chat talking to him about people coming over to talk to him. And he was like, that's fine. Y'all go ahead. And so one dude showed up and was like, hey, I was thinking about going over there. And he went, and that was fine. And the next guy went and was basically just kind of dumb. And then the next guy went and asked some legitimate questions. And later, like 3 or 4 days later, Rob decides that was a trolling brigade and that we have to be put in our place. And so Andrew does this long emotional video about the power of the Crucible, and Sarah lost around 2,000 subscribers in like 2.5, 3 hours, right? Like, it really kind of put a hitch in her giddy up on her channel. But ultimately, the separation of her from the Crucible as an organization, I think, will benefit her in the long run, provided she can actually dissociate herself from that type of stuff, right?
Yeah, I'd agree with you on that. I think the further from fucking Andrew Wilson's brigade, the better, personally, because I think he's an asshole.
Yeah, well, I mean, here's the thing. Here's my only issue with the man. He is an individual who, on one of the first appearances on the Raging Tomato, stated that he doesn't like e-girls, he doesn't like working with women, he doesn't hire women, and women are typically a problem anytime you work with them. Almost exactly 8 or 9 months later, poof, he basically all of this goes down, and he unpersons the Raging Tomato. And I had kind of been in the wings on some of this stuff. He said that we were there to lick the scraps from his fingers. And I told him he didn't have enough scraps, that he's obviously a brokey if he doesn't have enough scraps to go around. So what's the point? Right. But ultimately, it comes down
like
to
a bit of a dickhead, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there are certain facts. He's married to a woman who has apparently multiple previous relationships that fathered children. He's very sensitive about it. It upsets him anytime anyone mentions it,
because he goes on fucking line and talks about how, cucking for somebody else's kids is a bad thing.
Right. Personally, I disagree on that point. I think it takes a real man to step in and be a father to children.
I get it.
Yeah, I agree.
No, this guy is one of those dudes who goes around saying like you should never take in another man's kids and do all this stuff. So if that's the case behind the scenes, I mean, fuck him. First of all,
I mean,
I don't care what he does in his personal life. I really don't. I don't care, but I do care that he presents himself in a certain fucking way, and that way is legit. Basically. That's the same problem I have with a lot of fucking people, man. It's like I'm right, you're wrong. Fucking suck my dick. That's it. That's my entire problem with him right there in a nutshell.
Yeah, there's no room for conversation there, is there?
No, he's not. He's not a conversationalist. He's a debater. That's what he does. And this whole I hate women thing and I hate e-girls thing, right? Then what's he doing on a fucking whatever podcast every other week?
Right. Right. Well,
why the fuck is he hobnobbing with those girls?
Yeah, he's there to clip farm because he knows. Like full transparency. I listened to Andrew from like purely his arguments and like from how he debates and from his arguments. There is like information to be gleaned from there. I wish he would target riper fruit for actual conversations rather than clip farming nitwits and idiots like those OnlyFans girls or like Brian Shapiro or like Destiny. I would rather him debate more substantively. So just getting that out of the way that I do follow his content. He clip farms. Like the reason why he's on the whatever podcast is because he can use that to get his name out there, to dunk on those dumb, stupid idiots, and then generate tens of thousands of clips there, and then people go to his channel and watch his content over there because they've heard about him because he went viral. That's the only reason.
It has the opposite effect on a lot of people. It certainly did on me. I saw his clips from fucking whatever. I saw him debating a bunch of different people, and he's completely turned me off. I've never been to the Crucible, and I never will be because the guy's a fucking prick, and he comes off like a prick, and I don't frankly want to go out of my way to watch and support his shit.
Yeah.
I've only been on panel with him a few times, and I get the impression of coldness, right? Detached.
Yeah.
Aloof.
Yeah. So
it's like you're just there to be used by him.
If he's gonna go and do whatever he's gonna do, he's got his grift or whatever. Like whatever. I don't care about any of that. And honestly, I'm not in the business of tearing down other people on the fucking internet or starting beef with people because that never ends well for anybody. It's not what we do here on the channel. I have an opinion on this man, and that's it.
Yeah.
So that's a good one. Dispassionate. I don't feel like he has very much emotion in the things he argues and debates for. So I don't believe him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to have any faith in somebody like that.
Well, he argues from a position of faith because if you think about it, if he's willing to be dishonest and he only argues faithful individuals, then he will always win because they will come to the argument legitimately. Well, whereas he's going to cheat.
Let me put this out there. One of the very last things that happened on Lauren Chen's channel before she got nuked over the stuff.
Russiagate bullshit.
She had Andrew Wilson on to interview and conversate, and he immediately turned it into a fucking debate for 2 hours. Right? I think it's still up on Rumble. I think you can probably go find it there on her channel there. But
let me check.
He is that whole time he was sitting there, he was like, well, you're not a Christian because you don't do this. It was like, first of all, I think she deserves a little grace because she's a relatively new Christian. Wasn't raised in it. Secondly, this was supposed to be a conversation, maybe a little bit of an interview with the guy who's getting some traction that she happened to fucking notice, right? And third, not every conversation has to be a fucking debate, man. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah. The last thing I told him was, I bet you're hell for a breakfast conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started drinking and excommunicated myself from the conversation.
So you start and you got kicked off, or you started drinking and you started talking?
I know.
I've seen you do both, man. I've seen you like start drinking and then you just start hammering on a dude until they force you to
go. Sam, I think unless it's on a different channel, I'm not seeing it on.
I've been on a panel with you on Dusty's channel when that exact thing happened.
Well, they like that sort of thing. They like the attack squatch. I see. Here's the thing. Obviously, I've done it too much because I'm curious exactly which incident we're speaking of.
You were very drunk, and it was like 5 hours in, and you threw me a link, and they're just like, "Yeah, bring it up." And Dusty's like,
"This isn't narrowing it down."
No, this is like that scene from the new. It's like the scene from the new Naked Gun where it's like, "You killed my brother."
I don't remember what the topic was.
That could be thousands of people.
I think we were arguing about whether or not God was real with an Indian, so I don't remember exactly.
Down to at least 50.
Like Sasquatch, I think you got an idea now when that was.
Yeah, ballpark. It's probably still up on my channel, to be honest.
Oh.
Yeah, it was like 3 o'clock in the fucking morning, and I'm tired as shit. Sasquatch puts in a private chat. He's like, "Yo, stick around. We're gonna talk about some shit." And then
it's about to get interesting.
Basically, chased off the channel by Dusty because Dusty was just like, "Dude, you were super drunk. Shut up."
Yeah.
And I'm up there for like an hour after Sasquatch leaves, just like, "Okay, dude, what did you want me to stay for? I really need to go to bed."
Fuck, who knows, man? I mean, like, the thing is, it's like, if you're capable of dealing with the shenanigans, there's a lot of opportunity. The issue is the shenanigans are constant and never stop.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, one of the people that I interviewed, what's up, Cynthia? I have no idea why this woman has such unmitigated vitriolic hatred for me. I have no idea. I did the same thing with her that I've done with Sam, that I did with Dusty, that I did with everybody else. We had the conversation about the things that YouTube's looking for. What's up, lawyer chick? Welcome in. And she took almost everything I said as being a troll, instead of being, like constructively critical of the things that were taking place. But, I got no hate for nobody, man. I really don't. I'd have to care for this.
Except the French.
I mean, are they really people, though?
That is a very dangerous line of logic, Sam. You don't want us answering that.
I don't know. I'm kind of thinking touche.
I mean, I'm asking a couple of Americans and a Brit what they think of the French as people, but it is what it is.
If we can quibble about the definition of personhood versus non-personhood due to nationality and genetic lineage, could I not then turn around and say that certain despicable acts were entirely based and justified?
I don't know, mate. I just looked up personhood in the dictionary. It just said anybody who isn't French.
Finally, a definition I can get behind.
Right?
Yeah.
I'll take the fucking cannibals in the Pacific Southwest.
Right.
Over
a Frenchman lands on the shores and they're like, ew.
Because look, they might eat you. They might eat you, but they won't. Say it in a snooty voice like hee 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 ha ha ha. Fuck you. Anyway. It's the only part of the Little Mermaid I like is the chef, and he's super fucking French.
Come on, dude. Come on. The utter masculinity that is
French actor.
Listen, the utter masculinity that is a half-beaten, half-dead man piloting a sunken ship into the gut of a giant tentacle monster. That's not hype to you. That's not a little bit hype. That's not a little bit awesome. I'm making crazy eye contact right now. I know you can't say no.
No, I can absolutely say no. That movie sucks.
I'm not defending the merits of the movie, Sam. I'm asking about the specific scene. Don't deflect.
Look,
I don't know, man. That eye
monster.
That eye contact is some Dharma type shit.
Mermaid.
I know you said you don't like point scoring. I'm scoring a point right now. I win.
No, you don't. You don't win anything. There's no points.
Yes, I do.
No points to score.
I just won.
And either way, we have to
the score is
sometime,
1-0.
Right?
I win.
My tentacles are far-reaching.
Yeah.
Not far enough. They can't get to me in Texas.
Up your ass, sunshine.
I've been around a long time, boy. I know a lot of people in a lot of places. You very sure about that?
See, my realization is within the next couple of weeks, I will be in your neck of the woods. So I probably should be nicer to you.
Anywho, no, YouTube, again, not actually threatening the kid. I'm just having a little fun with him.
He's doing it in Minecraft. It's Minecraft. No, it's all going to be in Roblox.
Honestly, I wouldn't threaten him anyway. If I was going to do something to him, I would never tell him first.
Thank you? Question?
Anywho, I don't know, man. I think that's probably going to do it for the show today. I think we had a great fucking show, though. There were a handful of other topics, including a guy who was doing the Son of Sam thing, but with like a south of the border bent, like cockroaches made him kill people. But it's not that big a deal. We might get to that another time. It's fine. You know, I like the direction that the show went today. We did get to a few things that I thought were kind of important, and some stuff that's not important, but was a lot of fucking fun to talk about, right? A lot of fucking
We'll
fun
get round to the rest.
So, boss mine.
Yeah. Okay, Sasquatch is he'll be.
He's running there.
Oh, he's back. Okay, we're closing out.
Yeah. All right. Tomorrow, the blast radius. We're discussing John Cena's exit of the WW. Whatever the hell's going on over there, I don't care.
John Cena,
greatest of all time. He's the greatest of all time, and he's leaving.
Tuesday, the Naughty Corner with AJOT. We're going to look at some terrible shit happening to some terrible people, and some terrible shit happening to some good people, and terrible people doing terrible shit, and that's generally it. And my next planned thing is next week here, if Sam has me. I know I might have worn out my welcome.
Not yet, surprisingly. You know,
he still lets me in. Like, he still leaves the door open for me, so you're fine.
Yeah, that's true. Either way, yeah, he'll probably be back here next week as long as I'm back here next week. So, which I'm planning on. I'm planning on it, but you never know. I could step out the door after the show is over to go have a cigarette, slip on the ice, crack my skull open, bleed out on the sidewalk, and you never hear from me again. It could happen. Right. I hope it doesn't, but it might. So
you never know.
If there are no more shows, something like that probably did occur. Abe, what do you got coming up?
Oh, the usual stuff. Just find me everywhere. Abe's going to get you. Check out my X. It's probably going to be the easiest place to find out what I'm doing. But, you know, Jack and Abe Show, Hump Day Chinwag, D shows with Sam. Yeah. You'll just find me everywhere. Don't worry about it.
Indeed. And Shadoo. What do you have coming up, if anything? If at all?
The employment fairy was nice to me, and I'm not working. Well, I'm working next Saturday, but I'll be able to show up because my shift ends before the show starts. I'll just be a little bit late. And then I'm not making content anywhere except, unless you count Spurging on Twitter as content, so you can go check me out over there, ShadowHawk55. I say some smart shit, I say some dumb shit, and I occasionally poke the bear that is the leftists, because it's funny.
Sometimes he pokes the bears on the right, too, though, because he also thinks he's being fucking funny.
No, it's because I know I'm right.
Yeah. And also, I'm still stuck on this. A fairy was nice to you?
The employment fairy.
Yeah. Does the employment fairy hang out in the stall in the back of the men's room?
Yeah.
The one with the little hole cut in the side and the duct tape.
Little hole. Yeah.
No, he's too busy for that, and he's also got too many Lego sets. The employment fairy is my boss, and it's really funny because not only am like the magic of a schedule, like the magic of the scheduling thing, but also the fact that he is gay. So it's a double entendre that my coworkers find absolutely fucking hysterical.
That works. Yeah. Yeah, the employment fairy. That's fucking funny.
Yeah.
Anywho, so for as long as we have him, we will have Shadow of Hawk on this show until he goes away and comes back. Hopefully, a better man. I'm not saying you're not a good man now. I'm just saying, you know, this whole process is supposed to improve you, right? That's like the whole point.
It's like getting a girlfriend. It'll either make me better, or I'll be made worse. Either way, I'm still goated with the spouse.
Yeah. So, and all that. But seriously, though, if we don't see you between now and then, although I'm expecting to see you between now and then, best of luck to you, man. Keep your fucking head down. Do not get killed. We want to see you back here.
No promises, but we'll try.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can't promise I ain't going to get killed by the fucking sidewalk in 5 minutes. So I get it, but still.
Yeah. There you go.
Well,
so anyhow, that leaves me. Normally on Saturday nights, we would be doing like, I'd be hanging out over at Amira's channel, Exile Lioness 2. I don't see that she has anything ready to go and live just yet, but that may change. We'll see what happens. She may go live tonight. She may not. If she does, I will be over there. If she doesn't, or even if she does, it'll just be later. I will probably be trying to live stream some Sekiro, even if my internet connection for the last couple of times has been a little spotty. And then, that's pretty much the whole plan through the next week is video game stuff. Maybe a Whispering in the Dark, although it might be pushed to the week following. And then we've got Abyssal Musings on Fridays. You can find me on Beelzebub for Beelzebub on Friday nights. And more Screaming into the Void next Saturday. I will be wearing this hat throughout. So, you know, not that matters to any of y'all. I just worked real fucking hard on getting that to sit right on the head. So I'm very proud of it.
Christmas Sam. Yay.
I am a little bit annoyed that the light isn't appropriately reflecting on the little poofball bit.
That's because I'm not that good at this stuff. Thanks for pointing that out, Dick.
You have an artist slave. Just make her fix it. Or better yet, I know a dozen people that you can just whip with a stick and they'll do it for you.
Or maybe he's an eldritch god and the regular laws of physics don't apply to him.
Yeah, let's go with that explanation. Anyhow.
Just because there's dragons doesn't mean there need to be rich black people, okay?
All right. Well, it was fun having Shadow on. We'll be closing out the rest of the show without him. Thank you all for coming. Thanks to the panel. Thanks to even the panelists who are not currently here. You can find most of their links in the description below. Anyhow, Anna expressed her regrets she was not able to make it to the panel, as well as GHAL, who I know had some stuff come up. Otherwise, she wanted to be here as well. And all that, and that would have, made the Aztec conversation pretty interesting, I think.
Yeah.
And everybody in chat, all you guys are awesome. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it. One last time for the grift. Money me, money now. Same with Sasquatch. Links are, pinned wherever the fuck they are right now. I don't know. It is what it is. Yeah. Have a great night, everybody. And remember, it could always be worse. It could be raining flaming cobras.
Bye.
Bye.